Yo, Shortbox Nation, this is Botter, and I'm here to tell you right now that con season starts early this year with the return of Northeast Florida's premier anime, comic book, and sci-fi event, Collective Con. That's right, Northeast Florida's largest pop culture convention returns for its 10th year on March 8th through the 10th at the Prime Osborne Center in Jacksonville, Florida. 10 years of Collective Con, they're pulling all the stops out to make sure this is a can't-miss event. And the guest list they got going, don't even get me started on the guest list. I mean, they've got A-list celebrity guests and voice actors from some of your favorite movies, anime, and video games like Elijah Wood and Sean Ashton, Ray Park, Trisha Helfer, Ross Marquand, Max Middleman, and Bo-Katan herself will be there, Katie Sackhoff. Tell me what other convention is giving you the opportunity to meet Frodo and Sam from Lord of the Rings, Darth Maul, and One Punch Man all under the same roof. Only at Collective Con. And if you're looking to get some of your favorite comics signed, or if you want to get an original sketch from some of the best comic artists in the world, well, you're in luck, because there'll be plenty of comic and creator guests there, like DC comic artist extraordinaire Clay Mann, Harvey Award-nominated illustrator John Taylor Christopher, Marvel and DC cover artist Chris Stevens, and acclaimed Star Wars author Timothy Zahn. They'll all be at Collective Con this year. And if you're looking to bring the family, or if you want to make a weekend out of it, you're in luck, because there'll be so much going on at Collective Con that weekend in the form of vendors, fan panels, video game tournaments, cosplay contests, after parties, and a bunch of fan events. You can purchase single and 3-day weekend passes now using the link in this episode's show notes, or by going to collectivecon.com to book your tickets and hotel. Buy your tickets now, and I'll see you at Collective Con, March 8th through the 10th. Now let's start the show.
It was December 1990. And, just in time for the holidays, Marvel fans were treated to a new version of the Fantastic Four. Instead of Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing, the new roster consisted of the
Amazing Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, the Wolverine, and the Ghost Rider.
I'm only gonna ask you once,
And I already told you, Banner. I didn't call you here. New York City don't agree with me. It, smells funny. That's the understatement of the year. There's a 40-foot monster tearing up Midtown as we speak. Wait a second. My spider sense is tingling. Something's wrong. The kid's right. This is bad. Monsters in the city. Skrull invasion, and I know those wheels anywhere. Innocent blood has been spilled, and it cries out to me.
I don't care what you say. All I know is that hell is breaking loose, and I'm the only one who can stop it. You twerps can come along if you want.
Then I'm up for a little payback. One way or the other.
In doing my research and talking to comic fans the world over for today's Artist Spotlight, I kept coming across a familiar phrase. And that phrase was, Art Adams got me back into comic books. Well, by the time we're done here, I know if you weren't into his artwork before, well, the man's gonna hook you again. Shortbox Nation, we proudly shine the Artist Spotlight on Mr. Art Adams.
Yo, so Ashley did some homework. I know we got a full agenda today, but Ashley did some homework.
This is my homework.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For those who can't see, those are the two Blu-ray copies, delicious Blu-ray copies of Vampire Hunter D and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Wasn't the homework, refresh my memory, I think we assigned each other homework like back in January, February when we first were recording in here?
Pre the plague.
While,
If we did,
yeah.
I don't remember it. I didn't do it.
I think mine was what? I had to read Sandman.
Yeah.
Which I did.
All of it?
Not all of it. Not at all.
Come on.
And I'll add an extra bonus homework assignment that I did.
We're recording, right?
Yeah.
For the record, Butter does not like art. Butter does not like art. Everyone knows that Butter hates art. Everyone, shh. This is not a drill. And if I get killed, I'll call the police.
It was not a suicide.
I live at 2719.
I also recently read Sex Criminals.
Did you like it?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Of course,
thoroughly.
Look, you tell him, hey man, read Sandman. This will freaking enrich your life, and it'll open your mind and help you transcend.
Boring.
Yeah, Barter's like, I read the first trade, and you're like, did you read Sex Criminals? Barter's like, I fucking loved it.
Wow.
Dirty.
With Sex Criminals.
With my dick out the whole time.
Stopping time and doing it.
I mean, I should have known what was going to be the content, but it was like I was reading next to Blythe, during like the wind down part of
She's
the
looking
night,
at you like, what
and I'm
the
like,
fuck are you reading?
And I'm like, kind of tilting it away from her, like, oh, okay, cool.
It's a heavy metal.
We all know that move.
This is suggestive. This is very suggestive.
Oh man, I was like, damn, this would be the comedy that she's like, hey, what are you reading? Mind if I join in? Read to me.
Barter, you're always reading.
Tell me a story.
Yeah. I really, really want to know what it is you're reading this month. I think that you're the kind of guy that always likes to expose himself to different kinds of art.
Expose yourself. Reading Sex Criminals.
What do you got there on your iPad? Pants tight. What? Huh? Babe? What, babe? What, babe? Sorry, babe. What?
Where's your other hand? You're rolling it.
Oh, no.
So I did my homework. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's go to you real quick. Your homework was...
real quick.
Change the subject.
Waka waka.
I think it started because you guys said you hadn't watched like an anime or manga or something to that effect, right?
I hadn't watched anime since high school.
Okay.
This is like the Michelle Branch years.
Yeah. And then we all in true short box fashion jumped on you and shamed you. Shamed you.
Shame. So much
Took your
shame.
nerd card.
So much shame.
But we also provided, for a majority, I think it was mainly C that provided a bunch of recommendations for you. And I'm seeing that you went with the Vampire Hunter D stuff.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? I mean, how was the experience? How's the homework assignment?
No, it was really cool. Like, I don't know if it made me want to watch more anime, but I liked it. Like, I could appreciate the art form now. I guess it's not just like screaming anime girls and cats.
Most
like I can
backhandedest
appreciate.
compliment.
No, it was.
I'm learning to appreciate it.
Hold on.
As an art form.
I've been talking shit, but Ashley and I had like almost a half-hour conversation before this episode. We were talking exclusively about Vampire Hunter D and how much
very like in a very professional,
in a good way. Like
oh yes, Ashley.
I actually did the whole. Well, what did you think about it? And Ashley was real with me. She was like, "Yo, tell me, like what? Like I was like the new one. You were like, yeah, old one.
It was beautiful. It was dramatic.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't think I'll ever watch it again, but I'm glad to have the experience.
That's fair.
Oh man, that is a real.
Did you come out of it thinking, oh, okay, so I was missing something?
That's like a bad
like
life.
post high school.
Enjoy the experience.
Well, it's
Probably never want to see you again.
It's funny because that first Vampire Hunter D, I have a lot of attachment to the I had the tape from my buddy from the Philippines who got it from me.
Whoa.
And I was like, holy shit, this is Vampire Hunter D, sweet. I'm not allowed to watch this at my house, but I'm gonna fucking sure as shit go to my buddy Toby's house and watch it at his house, and we did, and it was like, this is like nothing we've ever seen. Like this is weird. This is really weird.
In a time capsule, like at that time, it's definitely something
for sure.
What is this?
Yeah,
this isn't like Smurfs and shit. This is crazy.
You almost kind of
that's a hell of a range.
No, Botter and Ashley. Imagine you're like 12 and
no internet.
No internet exists.
Yeah.
You're used to watching shit like fucking Hanna-Barbera,
Snorks.
Whatever,
Heathcliff.
like Batman the Animated Series, stuff like that, right?
That was the edgy
X-Men
stuff.
cartoon, right? That's edgy. Then on the same day, someone opens your little head up and pours Akira and fucking Vampire Hunter D the same day in your head. It's ridiculous.
Ain't been the same since.
Oh, I broke my brain. It destroyed me. It destroyed me. I went back questioning everything. I was like existential dread. My mom's like, "You ready for church?"
What's the point?
Did you draw a little mouth on your hand and talk to yourself?
Yes, dude. Yes, I do. I do left hand all the time on my hand, all the time.
Damn, it feels nice to have you guys back, man. It feels good to be surrounded by. I try, listeners. You guys should understand by now. I try to be kind and friendly, but they just keep tearing me.
The insincerity button is right over here.
Oh, speaking.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Oh, damn.
Jesus,
I thought that was
Butter.
the button. I didn't pay the light bill. Sorry.
Jesus, pay the electricity.
Dude, it's still not working. Is the bulb out?
I probably just disconnected it.
Yeah, the bulb's out. Yeah,
I miss you guys so much. I was like, none of this means anything.
Is that why it's so hot in here?
Yeah, it's like the air's down. It's like
Well, last time I had the fan on, it was ruining the sound
Shortbox
quality.
Podcast brought to you by JEA.
Patrons, we need your help now more than ever. You know what? Well, one, how is everyone doing? It has been a minute since we've all been in the same hot ass studio room together. How is everyone doing? Ashley, you doing well?
Yeah, hanging
spirits
in
high?
there.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about spirits high, but hanging in there.
Right now, you've got your elbows on your legs, sort of like, yeah, hanging in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, been through some shit.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Ed, what about you? How's everything been?
I'm doing okay. I made the foolish decision to catalog my comic collection, and 4 boxes in, I'm hating my life. Yeah, it was a bad idea.
You start questioning, like, why the fuck do I love this hobby?
I was just going to throw this in the garbage. But I got like 16 short boxes of stuff to go through.
Damn.
So,
Oh, my God.
yeah, it's a lot.
I could not sell my back issues quicker. Like when that dude came by and was like, "I'll give you set." I said, "Deal." It's like $700, right?
might
Not
be.
$7.
Yeah, no, $7. Too late.
So nope, but that's been taking up most of my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, C? How's everything been? Anything cool going on?
No, I'm still dead inside.
Oh, okay. So nothing too out the norm. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Butter, how about you? Oh, yo, thanks. See, everything's been pretty cool.
Actually, I didn't ask that. I'd never asked that. I did not. That was actually Butter doing a little voice for anyone who didn't catch that really good impersonation of me. It was
Yo,
Butter doing a
Butter.
little voice.
Butter, thanks for everything you do.
First off, my mouth is not that small.
How's the family going? Yo, C, man, you asked a lot of personal questions, man. Yo, what's your credit card information?
That actually was me. That was me, listeners. That was me.
All right, enough of the
Yeah,
fun and
no.
games, man. We got a full
Serious stuff.
full episode going on.
Give me your social security number.
But I think it's a good time as ever to introduce today's episode. This is episode 293, the Art Adams Artist Spotlight episode for our longtime friends and listeners. Welcome back. And of course, for some of you out there tuning in, a welcome to The Show's in Order. You are now tuned into the Short Box Podcast. I'm your host, Bader Milligan, and as you can tell, probably by now, I've got my full cast here with me. I got my right-hand man, Cesar Cordero.
We're just now getting to the intro?
Yeah, dude, we talk a lot.
We could have filled that whole space with ad revenue, man. Like Joe Rogan does. 10 minutes of commercials. No wonder I make what is it? Ed, you were like getting paid in Botter bucks?
Botter
whatever
bucks.
that is, like
Yeah.
fake money.
Botter bucks is the equivalent of a no prize. and it costs me more money to make the Botter bucks for them, or whatnot.
Just
But
pay me.
Yeah, sorry. Let's get back to the intro. The free of charge intro.
Wow.
yeah, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, I got my right hand man, Cesar Cordero.
Hi, I'm broke.
Edmund Jan's Art's here with us.
Yo.
Ashley Lanny Hoy is gracing the mic again.
Happy to be here.
There we go.
Now that sincerity button.
Happy to be here.
When you say it through your teeth, Ashley, it's a little less believable.
Yeah.
And we got a special in-studio photographer catching our good sides, hopefully.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Corey Torgeson. Hey!
What
Can you
the
shoot
fuck?
me from above so I don't look as fat?
Yeah, seriously.
Like MySpace style?
Yeah, the corona has not been good to my chins.
And please get as much shameless merch shots of these hats as you can, Corey. So big shout-outs. Big shout-outs to Corey. I know that he wanted to jump on the mics to talk about the Vampire Hunter D, but we got some things to talk about today, man. We are recording live from the Shortbox Studio here in Jacksonville, Florida. And this episode is made possible this episode made possible by our
Financial
sponsor.
support by viewers like you.
This episode made possible by our sponsor, Gotham City Limit, Jacksonville's premier location for comic books, collectibles, toys, and more. And of course, our Short Box patrons whose contributions help us keep the lights on. We're still trying to get that AC unit
Except
fixed.
that light, the recording light.
If you're interested in supporting the creation of episodes like these in exchange for access to commercial-free episodes, bonus episodes, and exclusive merch, check out our membership site, patreon.com/theshortbox. Like I said, today's episode is our artist spotlight. We're doing Art Adams, and as usual, this Art Adams was voted on by our patron. Well, actually, this one was a little more convoluted in true Botter style. Normally, we let our short box patrons, the True Believer tier patrons, vote from a poll of pre-selected kind of nominees, and then we go from there. But I wanted to switch things up, and I allowed the patrons to submit nominees for this episode, and then we voted on the kind of finalists. I think we all chose. For the most part, I think Art Adams beat Jim Lee by like one vote. I think it was between Jim Lee and Art Adams. We went with Art Adams. And I'll be honest, man, I was talking to C about it earlier this week, and it largely had to do with just the volume of work I have in my personal life. But I just could not get into, like, I couldn't get revved up for like Art Adams and this research earlier in the week. But then C reminded me about the classic fucking Fantastic Four trilogy series, introducing the new Fantastic Four. And from there, man, it's just been really fun diving into Art Adams' work and such. And I want to ask you guys, I mean, how did the research go? I mean, were you guys excited about tackling Art Adams? If you want to even talk about your first conscious exposure to his work, that'd be great. See?
I wasn't excited. Full disclosure. I mean, I'm being 100% real. Not because I don't appreciate the man's work, which I later would after doing some research. I just was so unfamiliar, and I was like, man, what am I...
Well, to be fair, he doesn't have like the volumes of work that our previous spotlights have had.
Sure, but as a comic collector, we should be a little more savvier.
Oh, I was. I love that.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, me personally, And
you guys shamed me when I suggested
I think both Art Adams and Wally Wood, I was on your team. Everybody else, I don't know, actually probably, I don't see her shaming. But no, I just was like, I'm not really familiar with a lot of his stuff. And then I realized that I was familiar with a lot of his stuff, and I just didn't know it. I mean, when I was younger, some of the single issue X-Men comics that
he doesn't have that like celebrity artist, kind of.
He's not the guy that sells himself.
Yeah.
Which is strange in this business. He basically did a lot of X-Men stuff that I read growing up that I didn't realize. And he also, I was telling Botter, I was like, everybody that's like into Ed McGuinness or J. Scott Campbell or Joe Madureira specifically, they all love Art Adams. They just don't know it yet because all those dudes have been like on the record directly influenced by that dude.
And like J. Scott Campbell, a lot of those like early Image guys, you could say the whole lineup, even like McFarlane,
Frank Cho. I would say Frank Cho too. Like you could see it. It's all there, especially in Monkey Man and O'Brien. It was an uphill battle, and I thought it was going to be an uphill battle, but it really wasn't. Like once I was like, oh, this guy seems normal. Like Botter and I were talking earlier about how normal this dude is. Yeah. Like, and how I think
unassuming.
Three of us here all. Was your mom or dad in the military, Ashley?
No.
Okay, so we got 3 people who've had family members, like dads specifically, in the military at one point. And that's Art. Like, at least, like that was me growing up. He was a military brat who liked to draw and got into comics. Like, I was like, damn, like I've shared that dream before. Like, that's something I wanted to do. So I feel like if he was here in the room with us, the last thing I think we talk about is comics. I feel like he's like that kind of guy that's so cool, like
talking
so
like
down
Godzilla,
to earth. Right? Exactly. Exactly. We'd be like, "Yo, do you remember like the Universal monsters, man? Oh man, those are so cool. Bela Lugosi, did you know? Blah blah blah." Like, I feel like that's the kind of dude. And then like eventually we'd be like, yeah, I guess drawing X-Men's cool.
What about you, Ed? How'd you feel when you got the news we were doing Art Adams?
I was happy because I think he was one, like when we decided to start doing these spotlights, he's one of the guys I was hoping to do because he's probably one of my all-time favorite comic book artists. So yeah, I was really excited, and I got to actually hunt down some stuff like the Monkey Man and O'Brien. I got to hunt that down and just kind of seeing what work I've missed because now he's primarily covers, and he's been primarily covers for a very long time.
He's made it.
He's made it, yeah.
He made it.
Adam
early.
Hughes, yeah. He got that Adam Hughes gig and Alex Ross gigs. Like, I don't have to do interiors anymore.
Jim Lee gig, too.
Jim Lee now, yeah. But he's not like, he doesn't have that like office guy like Jim Lee I can kind of get because he's like the, he's not just the artist. He's like
he's a businessman.
Yeah. So, but Art Adams is strictly an artist. He doesn't have any like, political aspirations within companies. He's not trying to, push his own agendas.
He's an artist.
He's an artist. He's basically in his room drawing. And I don't know, have you guys seen his studio? Like pictures of his dude, it is incredible. It's like a little drawing desk with like shelves and shelves of like monster vinyls and toys and model kits.
Cool.
It looks incredible.
Ashley, what about you? Thoughts
So-
going into this episode?
I remembered Monkey Man and O'Brien, and when you asked me, you were like Jim Lee or Art Adams, and I voted for Art Adams because I was like, oh, it's the underdog. Like we're probably going to do the episode on Jim Lee. I'll go ahead and say Art Adams. And then when you said we were doing the Art Adams episode, I was kind of excited because I just didn't know that much. So it was just, it was fun to learn. I just got on the computer this morning and just started going through stuff, images, like Wikipedia. It was really cool to learn about him.
Yeah, same here. And as far as first conscious exposure, I know I've
Please
seen.
stop saying exposure. Every time, since you brought up sex criminals, it still feels weird. You never got over it. Still feels weird, Botter. Still feels weird in the room.
I think my first conscious liking of his awareness. There you go. My first conscious awareness since we want to.
My
be,
first
you know,
awakening.
Everything
7-year-old.
you say sounds like a boner still.
First
Everything sounds like
first conscious
Experience?
Yeah, but I was like,
awakening.
I've been reading RMs for a while, and my first boner, my first experience, it was like a wet dream.
Are we done yet?
I'm sorry.
Class.
I'm sorry.
Ashley, how can you take these guys? Man? Come on, man. Yeah.
She's like, fuck you. You made fun of my clothes for 3 episodes straight.
You will get no reprieve from me, good sir.
Never wear a scarf again.
Ever.
No, like I remember seeing a lot of these covers in my dad's collection, like these giant size annual X-Men's. This Heroes for Hope X-Men cover that he did. I didn't know it was a charity comic book, but that I've seen that everywhere, and it wasn't until much older that I was like, oh, that's Art Adams. Actually, I wasn't until this research I was like, holy shit, that was Art Adams, and I've seen that everywhere. But in all honesty, my first conscious exposure to him was much later, probably in like the 2008 range. When he was doing the interiors for that 2008 Hulk series with Jeff Loeb, where he introduced the Red Hulk. He did a 3-part story, 7 through, I think, 9, where the Red Hulk fights the Wendigo. That was one of my first conscious ones. And even earlier than that was he did some covers for a 2008 Incredible Hercules series. And I think it's the part where Hercules takes over the Hulk series for a couple issues, and it's him and Amadeus Cho, and Art Adams was doing all those covers, and I remember buying them monthly, and that run being one of my favorite comic book series early on, going to the shop and having my own pull list. So he's always kind of even from the beginning of me having my own pull, I mean his influence has been great, and in doing this research and just kind of collecting and looking at all of his material, that classic X-Men #1 cover, that might be one of the most iconic X-Men covers to me, period.
And you can see the Jim Lee influence.
100%.
The way the feet are drawn, those weird little ankles.
Oh, for sure.
Man. And I'm also it makes me nostalgic for the Konami X-Men game, because I mean they got for the most part the same suits and stuff, but
it's funny because he later on he's actually mentioned he gives credit for a lot of the Capcom designs for some inspiration.
Oh, wow.
Street Fighter and stuff. Yeah.
See, what about you, man? First conscious awakening?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Dirty.
Honestly, seeing the New Mutant stuff when I was younger, I really had no idea. It was 2 things. It was a New Mutants comic. I don't remember specifically which one. I just remember Cannonball was rocking that freaking crew cut that he used to have. And the other thing was a doorknob. What are those things called? Just hang from the doorknob, do not enter. One of those things, a little sign. It was one. It said it had Wolverine on the cover, and he did it. It's the same as that classic X-Men cover. It's just Wolverine isolated, and it was something lame, a little 10-year-old would have. It was do not enter. Top secret X-Men clearance only. Yeah. And then on the back it had the Xavier crest with a mutantis mutant, whatever, the fucking fake ass Latin thing they made up for that stupid crest. And I had that doorknob sign for forever. I don't even know what happened with it, but it was one of my most cherished things. It was oh man, this makes my room uniquely my room, and I had no idea. Like, yeah, I've been flossing Art Adams on my fucking door forever, and I didn't even realize it. Like, I thought when I was younger, I was like, boy, this Jim Lee Wolverine looks really cool, you know? Because there wasn't a signature at the bottom. It was just straight up marketing.
God, they really marketed that thing. They put that thing on at Wolverine pose.
Oh, everywhere. Dude, it was on Chef Boyardee ads.
Yes,
We were like,
and that's like an unconscious awakening I had was when I went on his site and he's got a spot for merchandise, and I saw that fucking Chef Boyardee can, and it was like. You're the man responsible for me begging my mom to spend 50 cents more on this branded Chef Boyardee?
Jesus Christ, Mom, I want that beefaroni. This is what Logan eats.
That's so funny.
This is what fucking Logan eats.
I listened to an interview with him. He's like, yeah, they asked him about the cans, and he's like, yeah, I guess, it was cool because when people ask me what I do, it's like, well, you can go down to the crappy pasta aisle and look at the cans, and that's kind of
That's
stuff
awesome. That's awesome.
What about you, Ed? First exposure to Art Adams.
Probably it has to be either the X-Men stuff. I don't know. It's kind of a blur because it's either like his X-Men work, the Long Shot miniseries, or the New Fantastic Four imagery. They're all, I kind of like got all those in that same time frame. But those are probably my first where this is Art Adams, and actively looked for Art Adams things. Yeah.
Did he do X Factor too?
I don't know.
Like, I'm talking X Factor, like original 5 Students X Factor. I feel like he did.
I'm not sure.
I will say he
Nobody asked you.
I feel like
Who are you, the host?
Shut up, dude. I couldn't keep a straight face.
adults talking. Yeah.
I mean, that one only hurt my pride just a little bit. So
Like,
that was good. That was good.
Did you just mute my mic the rest of the time? You're like, what about you, C?
Technical difficulties.
Just deleted that track of the recording.
Gone.
I did learn that Art Adams did the cover for Daredevil 238, the one where Sabretooth is lunging at him. Mm-hmm. That was a pleasant surprise. Like, oh shit! I don't think. See, like that's what I kept coming across with Art Adams. Like, oh, he did that one too. Oh,
he's done covers for everything.
So let me ask you guys, everybody here, do you think that? And this seems like something that I noticed looking at his catalog of work. It seems like not that he had a choice, but like maybe they gave him a choice. Like, what books do you want to work on, or what would you rather work on? He always like picks like weird, fringy ass stories, or like his characters are weird, like fringy ass characters, like just like Long Shot. I remember thinking when I was a little kid, like, fuck Long Shot.
The thing with Long Shot though is that was very early in his career.
He wasn't even 21.
Yeah, and he was still living at home.
But that's the thing. Like, I said that without
no one wanted to do it
without even reading it. And then when I read it, I'm like, oh, this is fucking quirky and odd, and it's basically like something I would have digged.
Yeah, the thing with the Long Shot though, but nobody wanted to do it. Like, he was kind of like, I guess I'll do it. It wasn't like he actively pursued that gig.
So then it's a matter of him elevating
right place, right
time. The subject or the material that he's been given.
It's a new character. Well, I remember in an interview he was like, it's like, yeah, no one wanted it. Who's gonna, John Byrne's not gonna do it. He's got other important things to draw. And then he's like, I think John Buscema's gonna do. He's like, I'm gonna draw Conan. I'm not drawing this guy.
Right.
So, but it's like I'm reading that. It's like he was still living at home, and I think he was just working at a pizza place and still kind of living at home. And it took him like 8 months to draw that first issue, right?
Yeah, it took forever.
So and I'm listening to an interview with him. He's like, I was a kid. I didn't have pressing bills, so I could really, and like, so that's an opportunity that I don't think you have anymore in comics. I think when you go into comics now, you got to be a complete, polished, multitasking, multifaceted artist to even get in the door now. But they took a chance on this guy and gave him all these months to flesh out the story. He had to redraw like the first 20 pages because he was still learning perspective. So how crazy is that he's not even fully evolved as an artist, and he's got this Marvel gig on this miniseries. So it's a really crazy story.
Damn, you bringing that up makes me think about because I read I read somewhere where I forget the name of the editor that helped him during Long Shot, but he had an editor help him during Long Shot. Like, hey, here's how you kind of sequence your stuff a little better.
Jim Shooter.
Well, Jim Shooter and it was someone else, but Jim
And
Shooter
Michelli?
It was me.
and Cesar Cordero,
Cesar Cordero.
a young 7-year-old Cesar Cordero. But I mean, you're right. Is in the sense that I think his story appeals because it's like. He had really good teachers, like people that, like a Jim Shooter, like
Isn't that crazy?
an editor that, I mean, what I read was Jim Shooter sat him down and was like, hey, kid, all right, let's flip through this Captain America comic by Jack Kirby. Here's how you do this, that, and that. It's like, what? Damn. He was really fortunate to have, like, really good editors and Nocenti helping him out, Luis Simonson. Like, damn, that's cool that, like... he was,
Nocenti?
And Nocenti, yeah. That he was given the ability... to have teachers and make mistakes. Because to your point, it's like, what other comic book artist on his first gig is given 8 months leeway to, learn as you go, Yeah. Like, it's pretty unprecedented.
Oh, pizza boy.
Maybe there's that, too.
Ashley, what about you what was your first conscious, like, Art Adams exposure? Yo, this is Botter. Sorry for interrupting this episode, but I'll keep it brief. I wanted to let you know about a massive sale we have going on over at the Shortbox Store on all of our merchandise and apparel. That's theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com. You can now save 20% off your entire order using the discount code YOO, Y-O-O. So if you've been waiting for the right time to finally buy that gauntlet snapback, or if you ever wanted to buy any of the shirts you see me wear on the podcast, well, now's your chance to get them for a steal. We still have a few sizes left of everything, but they won't last long, and once they're gone, they are gone. And then I mentioned that all of our apparel is screen printed on high quality material. None of that heat transfer or direct to garment stuff. Our shirts are some of the most comfortable ones you'll ever wear, and the hats look even better in person. So wear your support for the Shortbox Nation proudly, knowing that you're going to look damn good doing it. Get to theshortboxstore.bigcartel.com as soon as you can, and don't forget to use that discount code YOO, Y-O-O, to save 20% off your entire order. All of this information can be found in this episode's show notes if you want to get there faster. Thanks for not pressing fast forward. Now back to the show.
The Monkey Man and O'Brien, I remember that from like the back issues and stuff. But it was the same thing with you guys, like going through everything. You keep seeing things that you're familiar with. So like the exposure to him has been throughout the whole time. I've been going to comic book stores. I just didn't realize it till this morning.
Yeah, there's definitely some classic, like, I mean, between like covers and just posters and speaking about like that classic Wolverine pose that he always does, like that cardboard cutout of Wolverine in his brown and tan suit. Like I remember seeing that so much as a kid, and I just could not connect one on one.
Anytime Hugh Jackman in the movies rocks that pose where he's got his elbows jacked into the side of his freaking hips.
Yeah.
That's all Art Adams. Like, no one... Dude, Art Adams owns that pose. Like, nobody else. Because nobody else did that shit. I'm sorry, fucking Dave Cockrum, you didn't do it. John Byrne, you didn't do it. Art Adams did? Yes.
I will say, once you pick up on that trope, hopefully this doesn't ruin it for anyone, but you start noticing, oh shit, he always has Wolverine
he made it
in
up.
the front.
He made
like,
it up.
Even to
And
this
he's
day.
he still drew him short.
It's okay.
He still drew him short, so he's got to be in the front.
Yeah, that's like saying every AC/DC album sounds the same. Yeah.
And you gotta remember too,
Good.
like
they all sound good.
What do you think? Like late '80s to mid '90s, Wolverine was their top guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Wolverine. He was in every comic crossover.
I know. When I was a little fucking,
he's in
stupid
Japan
little
for some
boy,
reason over here.
I was like, I want Stabby Man.
Stabby Man.
Give me this dude. Mom, will you buy me this book where a man murders another person with kitchen knives coming out of his hands?
Little hairy guy just killing people.
I'm 10. This
Canadian.
is perfect for me.
And he's Canadian.
Hey, Justin Bieber's a dick. Why can't so we can throw that polite fucking stereotype out the window.
So, Ash, let's start with you. What type of reference did you use for research, or any particular piece of content that you might have like referenced while you were doing research? And did you learn any like interesting trivia or like piece of history?
This is gonna be funny.
Oh, what you think?
No, because we all might say the same book.
Oh, yeah, mine was just the internet. Oh, yeah, and the X-Men book.
You also bought it too?
No.
Oh, that's it.
She's
All
like,
of us
no,
buy
I
this?
fucking
Who bought it? We had three of us bought it, right?
yes.
Yeah.
No, I just did a lot of like I love just to do like internet image searches and just like
down the
look
rabbit hole.
through everything. And I did find, so it was super cool. Remember how Todd McFarlane was so proud of his Spider-Man web?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, fuck. I know where you're going
So
with
he's
this.
super excited about that
Talk that
Spider-Man
shit,
number
Ashley.
1 with his webbing and the Spider-Man webbing, and then I found that on an issue. I think it was
Long Shot number
Long
4.
Shot.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Number 4 had the webbing on it.
Stay woke,
And I
fam.
couldn't. I
Stay
looked
woke.
it up 5 years earlier.
Yes, queen.
And Todd McFarlane always talks about how he created that webbing, and there it is 5 years earlier. And the best part was there was another, I don't know what character it was, but there was another chick on that cover.
She-Hulk. I got it right here.
Yeah.
Was it really?
I'm pushing my glasses up.
Backhanding 'em?
Got it right here.
Look, actually, your
She, like,
searches on the
slaps him,
internet
like,
are
to
a
the front
lot
of the-
different than Potter's searches
Whoa.
image-wise on the
She's
internet.
slapping him? Yeah.
Yeah.
She-Hulk.
Yes,
Yep.
that's right. Okay, but I noticed that because you got the double butt cheeks and then the double boobs, which is a lot of the Liefeld
Oh,
stuff,
classic 90s
which
poses.
like twists them, and
You got to show both.
that was 1985.
Fucking, we do the homework here on this
And-
show, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's like, I think Art Adams was one of the first people to kind of do the feet behind smoke and haze and rubble. But
Another
Liefeld,
Liefeld, yeah,
totally.
Liefeld
I don't have to
trick.
draw feet. Fuck
so
yeah.
what you're saying is 9/11 was an inside job.
Liefeld did it.
Ed, what about you? Any unique research methods or sites or interviews?
I just like I said, just kind of since I've been going through my collection, I've been finding some Art Adams stuff that I've completely forgot about, like his stuff he's done with like Tom Strong, and
Oh yeah.
and his like character in the Tom Strong Tales, the Joni Future, which is like a kind of like a Barbarella type of character. And then just doing some image searching and just seeing if there's, because a lot of the newer stuff, it's since he's doing covers, there's a lot of stuff I've missed, so just seeing that he did a really, I don't know if you've seen that Invincible cover with like the Angel of Death, like the Grim Reaper with wings.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, I did not see that. That
Insane.
sounds sick.
Yeah.
And I saw some really cool that I've never seen before in the, I think Eclipse Comics. He was doing covers for Masumi Shiro's Appleseed.
Oh shit, Eclipse.
So yeah, that was really cool because that's when, before the big kind of, manga boom happened in the States.
Right.
And they were just taking it and taking like the small mangas and making them comic book size, left to right. And he was doing the covers of it, and it's really, really nice stuff. So basically, yeah, just kind of similar to Ashley, just either kind of going through my own collection, jogging my memory, and just doing some image searches.
You mentioned a interview though. Was it a video interview of his?
Yeah, there was a video interview maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I think at like Emerald City Comic Con. It was like about a 30
I think
minute.
we watched the same one.
30-minute interview.
That's cool.
And there was a couple of short ones where he seems kind of like annoyed because the guy was asking like, "What do you think, Art, man? How does
Oh my,
it, like-"
that's the same one. Yeah, yeah. He
he's
was like, "What everyone gets."
I
you
got
paid."
a mortgage, bro. I got bills to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you like it, but
Yeah, that one was pretty
so
funny.
you could say he's like side eyeing the guy, and
Dude, this is a job too, right?
it's like
he
this
was
is
at-
a job, dude.
He was asking him some existential shit. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
So yeah, there's like a few, and I watched this one guy who's a storyboard artist on The Simpsons kind of do a little breakdown of his art.
Damn,
which
that's
was
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
All right. See, what about you, man?
I basically was like, internet, do the work for me, please.
Good buddy, good pal.
I said, Butter's like, this is why I fuck with you.
Jeeves.
I had, and also for the reason that I wasn't as familiar as I thought with his work, so I needed someone to hold my hand. So I went on Amazon and I just instantly just said, Art Adams, please, will buy any and everything he has done. And I saw that, of course, they had an art of Arthur Adams' X-Men book.
First thing that pops up.
Yep, and it's definitely affordable. So I bought it, and I was looking through it.
Did
and I
they
was
bend
like,
yours up too? Those motherfuckers.
No. Oh wait.
They like rolled it up and
Yes,
shoved it in
they
my
shoved
mailbox.
it in the fucking little
Assholes.
box. Yeah.
Ah.
Yo, Jeff Bezos. is the
Negative
devil.
5 stars.
I have returned enough things to Amazon that they know better. I will return this shit with the quickness.
I said so. I was looking through it, and it was just warm,
Yeah.
like waves of nostalgia all hitting me, like all the reasons why I got into X-Men, because it was all like the weird, awkward, quirky faces and pose. That's one thing I will say. Art Adams knows how to draw a face. And for anybody who is an artist, the hardest thing to draw is hands and faces. Yeah, but if you can do that, you can trick people into thinking you're fucking amazing.
And he draws he's very expressive.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
expressive.
Every face is
faces.
different.
Yeah, like you don't see. It'd be so easy for someone to do the how to draw comics the Marvel way faces, and everybody ends up being a Sal or a John Buscema clone. but Art Adams is not that guy. Like these people exist. Like he draws real expressions on cartoon faces, and you're like, damn, like I feel like I know Nightcrawler. You know, I feel like I know all these characters, and you know, oh, I feel the pain. Like if he just does one panel where there's no words, but like say Cannonball's making sort of has a somber expression on his face, you feel it. Like you're like, damn, that's awesome. So that book, and honestly.
Hey, Shortbox Nation. Sorry for the interruption. Just a few quick words from our sponsor, and we'll get right back to the show. Yeah, so this is where I pick up my comics.
Excuse me, might I remind you the rules here at No Touch Collectibles? No loitering, no friendship, no touching the merchandise without gloves, and no free bags and boards.
Yeah, man, I know. This shop sucks. I don't even know why I shop here.
Well, we could go to Jacksonville's premier location for comic books, collectibles, toys, and more.
You okay?
At Gotham City Limits, you get 10% off comic books in your pull, 20% off trade paperbacks and hardcovers, 10% off high-end figures and statues, and free bags and boards. It's practically criminal.
And that's why Gotham City Limits is a place of the people.
How many times have you watched the Batman trilogy?
I'm ashamed to say.
Well, I mean, they're not bad.
One time for every time the Joker has taken the city hostage.
Are you done with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, let's just go take our business there.
Gotham City Limit. It's the comic book shop Jax deserves, but not the one.
All right. I get it. It's a great shop. Let's just go.
It was kind of weird. I forgot to tell you guys this. I went to Target to get some groceries, and Target had like Marvel Comics, like some trades there in like their kids section, but like they were like not like little kid trades,
books,
like
the electronics section where it's next
yeah,
to
like
the
yeah. So like they had a cover he had done for the Avengers that's going on. Like it was the run where it was like Robbie Reyes was in the Avengers, She-Hulk, and they were fighting the fucking Celestials for some reason. They're like, no, these aren't Celestials. These are Uber Celestials. Which now that I understand his love of Godzilla, really makes sense that he's just like, nah, I want to draw fucking large monsters that freaking smash shit up. Mm-hmm. So I saw that and I was kind of like, serendipitous. Cool.
That's cool.
Don't ever do that.
Wow.
What? No,
that's cool.
I meant it.
Great.
Yeah.
Great story.
Good job, C.
No.
Great.
Really
I
cool,
didn't mean it like
Captivating material.
See,
Why am I apologizing? Like, you do this on the regular.
Yeah,
wait a
right.
minute.
He's like,
wait a minute.
your father's like, I'm being gaslighted on my own show.
Oh, great story.
Good job, yeah. Hey, C, while you're
where are we?
while you're answering the question, maybe eat
still
a dick.
recording? Oh, that's awesome.
Gaslight Milligan here.
Edit.
It's going to be the most chopped up sounding episode.
We cannot.
Second,
See, now we can never at Art Adams like on Twitter with this episode because it's just he's going to be like, oh God, they've somehow cheapened me as a person.
No, not at all, man. Y'all holla at us. Art
No,
Adams.
also, yeah, Art Adams, please. How's it going, buddy? Hey.
I ended up going. So I always try to find if the artist has a website because I feel like that's usually it's their chance to represent themselves.
Damn it.
So
easy. I should have done that.
ArtAdams.com.
Damn it.
.tv.
Why didn't I get stupider?
That was fucking funny.
You just type it in the bar. It'll just pop up.
Because what I'll notice is a lot of the times the artist has their own website. They usually have an about sections and a bio. And a lot of times the Wikipedia entry about them usually stems from that, or sometimes vice versa. But anyways, so he has a site. I mean, he's got it broken down like a really good artist website. He's got
It's good. What? Yeah. It's actually updated.
Yes.
He's not like, I'm going to be 1998, guys. I'll be it.
Black,
this is
black
the news?
background, green letters.
GeoCities.
He's still around? Wait, his website is myspace.com/Art Adams. What the fuck? But I mean, his site's broken down really well. He's got his portfolio section. He's got it broken down to like covers, interior, merchandise, and that's where I saw the Chef Boyardee one. Of course, I always use Wikipedia and then look at their resources. But I think one that you had it mentioned, but I was inspired by you. Cartoonist Kayfabe had a
Yeah, that's right. I forgot to say that.
Yeah, they reviewed the Fantastic Four issues he did. Numbers 347 through 349, I think.
They also did you see the Spider-Man annual?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep.
I got it on my like hunt down, at conventions list. And then I will also say there is a really good comic book artist interview. I think it's like number 17 from 2001. That was like super long, but really detailed. And I really got to see more of his like personality shine through on that because, you know, he's making jokes and he's like talking shit about his own like work and stuff like that. So those are really fun. I think some of the like interesting trivia that kind of stood out to me was that a young and at the time, I think uncredited Whilce Portacio and Scott Williams were inking his work. I think now that they got credited, but I don't think at the time they were credited. But Whilce Portacio and Scott Williams doing his long shot work, that's what I meant. Which out the gate, it's like, okay, this is someone that we've, you know, all so far credited as like the biggest inspiration for like the 90s
and future image
ensemble.
guys.
Oh yeah, Scott Williams making Jim Lee look awesome since fucking I was a baby.
I think Ed, you already had mentioned about you know, his first issue of Long Shot taking 8 months, and him just kind of learning the process and whatnot. The whole also that Heroes for Hope comic book cover once again came about because Ann Nocenti gave him the opportunity to do that cover.
Must have been something going on there.
Well, when I look at the names, it's like there was a bunch because that was like a benefit comic for like famine relief in Africa. So you had like Stephen King was involved in it, John Byrne, Charles Vest, Bernie Wrightson. So for him to get the cover off the rip, you know, with all these names, I'm like, man, that's his career.
A lot of edgelords on that list. A lot of creeps.
But thanks to that comic book cover,
I like monsters.
that led to a gentleman who was in charge of producing the Marvel posters. His name was Bob Budansky. He had asked Adams to produce a Wolverine poster with the same type of pose.
It's awesome.
And I guess there was two primary posters that Art Adams did in like the late 1980s. One was just an X-Men cover, which looks so vastly different. It feels like a Capcom game. I'll pull it up actually. And then the other one was this Mutants cover or Mutants poster. It just says Mutants. It has like a giant splash of everyone that's had ever been an X-Men. Those were like the two highest selling posters for Marvel at the time. And it also spawned that Wolverine stand-up, you know, that poster stand-up that you've seen at probably every shop. So I thought those were two pretty unique.
Yeah, hi, Art. It's me, Bob Budansky here from the Chicago office at Marvel. Yeah, I noticed there wasn't enough sausage in Wolverine's hand. Could we do something about that there?
Oh yeah. This is and we'll be sharing this on our social media. But this is one of the X-Men posters he did, which I think looks vastly different. And this because the colorist on this did some interesting things.
Oh,
I can't recall like
interesting color.
Interesting. It's just like whenever I say something, Butter says,
interesting.
Very
That's an interesting thought.
That's
there.
a good thought,
interesting
little
take.
buddy.
And the only I wasn't able to see if he got any other Eisner awards, but the primary or his first one was
just one.
Yeah, 1988 for best single issue for a Gumby summer special.
Yes,
Summer Fun.
things.
Did you guys see it?
Yeah, that shit is good.
Yo, what? I've never looked at a Gumby comic ever in my life and thought, I'm ruined if I don't read this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a horrible person if I don't read fucking Gumby right now.
And it was with Bob Burden, the Flaming Carrot guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he and I was listening to an interview, and he kind of credited him. It's like I think it's more for him. than me.
So I think we heard the same interview.
Yeah.
That's the same time where like when that guy right before he said like, you know, the Eisners are kind of like our Oscars, and Art Adams was just kind of like, he was like, yeah. He's like, I guess. Like,
I'm just drawing stuff.
yeah,
bro.
dude. Whatever.
As long as I keep getting work, I don't care.
He actually
Can we fucking talk about Godzilla, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
I read that he wasn't even like I don't think he wanted to do that series or something like that unless Bob Burden was attached to it because he was like, well, I feel like it might cheapen my like, you know, brand or whatever. So I think he really wanted to lean in on like the comical aspect.
Yeah.
But the pencils are so good, man. Like
the line work is slick, dude. I never saw Pokey look sweet. like I was like, oh shit.
What did you guys find out as far as like his influences? Anyone like stand out to you guys?
It's kind of like the guys you would think. Michael Golden is one guy who did like Micronauts. He's a big Marvel 70s artist.
Yo, he said that Micronauts #1 by Mike Golden was like what that was the moment for him. Like, yeah, this is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
do.
you can kind of see like the Barry Windsor Smith influence, Cthulhu. You know, there's like it's kind of like he's like in a strange like age group where he's kind of still contemporaries with those guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
but he's also in that group that's that wave of 90s, big shot artists like that Image. He's like basically in that same age group. So he's kind of like in these two generations. Like his influences go further back, I think. And then like a lot of his contemporaries, you can see he's their influence. And they only came around a couple years after he was working.
I think he was in a weird pocket too.
Yeah.
If those Image dudes in that Image group had, blown up maybe a couple years afterwards, I think we'd be talking about Art Adams in a way big. We'd hold him up in a higher regard. Yeah. But I think because he popped off so quick between like 85 to like 90, it was such a small pocket, and then like he just, in my opinion, probably got a little eclipsed from the Image like dudes blowing
got
up.
good at doing his job real fast.
Yeah.
So he didn't really have a time where it was like, oh, this is his early stuff, and you can see this, whatever, blah, and it's like out the gate. He was like, oh, I suck right now? Cool. Let me go back to the drawing board, comes back, and it's like, how's this? Wow, damn, Art, that's much better.
The thing, too, I think the reason why we don't, like, he's not in that echelon of artists is because he doesn't have that long run.
Yes,
on
and
a series.
He's missing that.
Like, he doesn't have, like, McFarlane had that long run on Spider-Man, his own Spider-Man, even Liefeld with the New Mutants to the X-Force.
Probably explains why he's a happy individual.
Yeah, and he's like, he's never... It doesn't, like, listening to him, he doesn't have that, I want to say, he has drive, but he doesn't have that ego to, like, oh, I got to be this kind of celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, because those guys, and as good as and influential as those guys are, they kind of had that ego to where it's like, I want you to know who the fuck I am.
Their identity is attached to it. Yeah.
I'm on this Levi's commercial.
Right.
Rob Liefeld. It's like, I want to, my face, I don't want to be an anonymous, because that's how they thought they were being treated at Marvel. They were just part of this machine.
Right.
It's like, no, we're, people need to see our face, and people need
the
to
reason
recognize
it's selling,
us. And we're the reason we're selling all these millions of issues.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if he had that long run, or if he had like a creator-owned property with a long run, I think he'd be, have that kind of,
Well, he's yet another person that is extremely talented, very prolific, and has no interest in trying to be a revolutionary.
Yeah. He just likes drawing.
Really
exactly.
fucking
It's
good at
kind of the
drawing.
same sort of like, it's sort of the same descriptor we use for George Perez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's pretty close.
Like
to
it was like another dude who's like a solid, just let me come to work, let me do my job, and I promise you won't be unhappy with
and
the
George
results.
Perez, he's like up there too because just of his volume of work, and his long runs on adventures. So,
And I was speaking to that point. I was thinking I was missing something with Art Adams. Like, oh yeah, he must have drawn like an X-Men series for a long time. I mean, because he is the X-Men guy. Like, at least during that time before Lee and whatnot took over. But he was the X-Men dude. But all he's ever done is like annuals and the covers.
because he was so slow, meticulous.
Yeah, that too. But I also think he was one of the preliminary dudes that, like the posters, like that merchandising ability, and even like another poster that comes to mind is there's a one that he did of like the Marvel heroes and villains poster, which if I pull it up, I'm sure you guys have all seen it. Spider-Man in the front, everyone in the back, like a '60s montage. But yeah, to your point, I agree. Even though his covers are iconic, had he done like a long run and really like developed,
let's say if he
got attached with a writer, I think that's the part he's missing
that too.
He's
like if he had like a year run with like a Claremont or somebody.
Oh,
dude,
sure.
Come on.
I've read that Claremont was trying to like scoop him up as much as he could. He said because Ann Nocenti, I guess, or Louis Simonson introduced him to Claremont after Longshot. And every time that he'd see Claremont at conventions, Claremont would be like, yeah, if I could just get you on, and Art Adams was like, yeah, dude, whatever.
Cool,
like,
man.
What you want?
You guys want this pizza?
And it's funny, like when he got asked to do the Fantastic Four, the 3-issue series, and it was so.
Yeah.
It was so like he could catch up. It's like
Walt Simonson could catch up.
Yeah, it's like you're asking me to fill in because you're behind,
Yep.
So
Dude,
and like
Walt Simonson too. Yeah. The
Yeah,
fact
he's
that
another
just,
influence,
just like hey, rubbing elbows with that guy now.
yeah, so it's funny. Like if you watch the cartoonist kayfabe videos, it's really cool. They break it down to where like towards like the beginning of the book and the end of the book, how the detail like goes away because the deadline's coming.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So it's like there's a funny line because I want to give them credit for this line, but it's like at the end of this, I think it was one of the Fantastic Four books. Is like you see like just kind of the talking heads with no backgrounds, and they're like, I think a lot of the Image guys learned these backgrounds from these pages.
Ashley, did you learn anything about his influences?
So it was the that Micronauts one stood out, and then the Walter Simonson, and then of course Frank Frazetta was in there, and one of the things that I read. But he's everybody's influence because he's amazing.
And Bernie, of course.
Yeah.
He mentioned
monsters,
he said
sure.
that Walter Simonson's his Uncanny X-Men and New Teen Titans were, quote, like the Bible of how to draw comics for him. So, which I thought was pretty cool. And the full circle too, because that Micronauts #1 was what Mike Golden and then Joe Rubenstein, who I think inked that.
Yeah.
Joe Rubenstein was the one that helped him get his shot at Marvel.
Yep.
He had seen his samples at Convention San Francisco and passed it on. So I was like, damn, like he literally has just rubbed elbows with I guess that's your point, right time, right place.
One piece of advice, kid: keep the tomato sauce off your prints.
Glad he didn't
send them in.
I'm glad he didn't go to Neil Adams.
Oh God!
And
You're garbage, kid.
some of his surprising influences are like after the fact. Like he said that Kirby was someone that he appreciated after getting in professionally, and then John Byrne, being synonymous with like X-Men at that time, he wasn't like the biggest fan. He was like, yeah, John Byrne was cool. It was mainly Terry Austin for me that was like the one.
And that's
Of course.
that's very fair.
Of course.
Because John Byrne with Terry Austin and John Byrne without Terry Austin, big difference. Big difference.
And blowing the lid off everything on here. Ashley's talking about how Art Adams did the fucking webbing before Todd
I just
did.
said big difference. I didn't say good or bad.
And saying that fucking anchors are like the real heroes.
In this case, John Byrne's case, I
Hey man,
think so.
I dude, 2 minutes ago I said some shit about Scott Williams. And
all you have to do is Google, and you'll see the
stay woke,
difference.
fam. Stay woke.
I think from a manga anime perspective, he also listed Masamune Shiro,
What was that?
creator of Ghost in the Shell.
Mossy Moon, who now?
What did I fuck
Corey,
it up?
say it right.
Corey, did I fuck it up?
Oh,
Masamune Shiro. There you go. Thank you.
how-
Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's why I invited Corey primarily. I was
Sailor-
like, Corey,
just for the Japanese
you're gonna
pronunciation.
have 3 seconds to really shine, buddy.
yeah, because you could see that. Because I think that's has to be one of the reasons he did those Appleseed covers.
Yeah.
Because that couldn't have been a big selling, big paying gig.
No.
Wait, Appleseed, the anthology book?
He did like in the 80s when they were doing
wrong.
single issues.
Okay.
He did.
But I was like, wait a minute, Appleseed from my breakfast?
What
What are you guys talking about?
Sound like a moron in your world. From my cereal?
Bonner, sometimes words hurt. I'm just trying to stay on your level, okay?
Stupid.
I'm just a victim here.
Let's see. And then I think we can't gloss over the fact that Art Adams draws, I think, monsters really, really fucking well.
Yeah.
like gorillas, girls, and monsters. That's
Godzilla too. Yo, he
He was Frank Cho before he fucking Frank Cho ever happened.
I gotta find this Alan Moore Godzilla song that he illustrated. Like I saw like a blog that had a majority of the
Song?
pages. Yeah,
Like Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla?
I'll look it up in the notes. But I mean, Alan Moore,
more cowbell.
Back.
and I mean,
Da-da-da-da.
I'm sure he all of that stems from his love of like Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, as well as like Creatures from the Black Lagoon, like all of that, those Universal Studio monster flicks too. Shoot. I wanted to like kind of go through because his career milestones, like, they're important, but they're not as long as some of like the other folks that we spotlighted.
Blink
you know?
and you'll miss him.
Yeah, it's like schwink. So I'll just kind of go through this really quick. Born 1963 in Massachusetts. He had a father in the Air Force. They settled in Vacaville, California, near Travis Air Force Base. He does credit that, just sort of like, I think Ed and C, we can definitely relate, but like our dads going on deployments, coming back, they got comic books for us.
Oh, yeah.
He
came back with presents.
Yeah.
When you leaving again, Dad?
And you know what? And all
This will make up for not being around.
and you know,
in the
look,
cradle in the silver spoon.
look, and you know that he probably bought them on the way like home, like at a gas station, and
for
like
sure.
My dad-
up the street.
yeah.
Yeah, he got the
Nowadays,
This is from Japan, Dad.
I don't even talk to my dad anymore. I just buy a comic and shove it in his face and say, "How do you fucking like it?"
It's a 50-cent box.
Wait, am I the only one that does that,
you
guys?
might, you might need to talk to
I'm the
someone.
only one that does that.
It's a bit aggressive.
But he does recall a memory where his dad brought back a Marvel Treasury grab bag issue. It had like Ross Andrew, Wally Wood, Gene Colan in that series. As actually said that he started getting the desire to draw professionally in high school when he bought a copy of Marvel Comics Micronauts #1 that had Mike Golden doing the illustrations. He attended conventions really young, like at like 17, just setting up tables and stuff and selling like $5, $10 commissions. I think that's where the Frank Frazetta stuff comes in because he would like get Xerox copies. He pulled a botter. With Darwin Cook. Like, yo. Well, I guess I pulled it in Art Adams, but he was Xerox copies.
Let's not elevate your crime, okay? I'm
just like Art Adams,
guys. Not only am I like Darwin Cook, I'm also like Art Adams. I'm two artists.
That's fucking good. But he said,
vampire.
yeah, he would Xerox copies of Frank Frazetta's artwork, and then he would try to watercolor them and then sell them that way. He also got his first unpaid published piece of work in 1982 while attending one of these conventions for a comic book fanzine called High Energy #1. I think he completely thinks it was it was not a good piece of work. It was like a short story on some sort of horror aspect or something. But his first paid work was a Farrah Fawcett pinup in Captain Carrot and his Amazing Zoo Crew.
Oh, I love Captain.
And he based it on the iconic 1976 Farrah Fawcett swimsuit poster.
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I looked up. I saved. Wait, yeah,
Fawcett?
Like before this, did you know who Farrah Fawcett was?
Yes, but I mean, I would not be able to. I was not able to just like recall her face.
Yeah, no, I'm just
vividly.
just asking.
I did save the poster. on my
Furry
phone.
fans
What?
should go look this up.
Oh God, no.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's not encouraged.
It's what? Oh wait, I don't.
For the record, when Botter looks at porn, before he clicks on anything, he does. I guess he goes back in time and does a burlesque show from the 1930s. Yeah, I'm about to fucking jerk off.
Oh my God, damn! It is high, and I'm not crying. It's just
Where's
high.
that fucking mute on the trombone the way I like it?
Shit. Or was Roy Thomas paid him like $10 for that,
Which is cool because
like 17, 18?
Did they offer to pay you for anything? Didn't you get like a pinup in a comic? A few pinups in comics? Like fan art? Like Tokyo
Yeah, I've gotten
Ghost?
fan art
Did they
on
give you
Tokyo
any money?
Ghost. No, they didn't.
Like, and $10 in what, 1980 something? That's what?
No, you're
$100
worth
now?
No, you're worth. No, you're worth, Queen. No,
That's like, I mean, most
$10
times.
in the 80s? Yeah, that's what, like $500 now?
Man,
let's
could have
see.
bought an acre of land. True.
It was also during these conventions in San Francisco called Creation Con for the record that he befriended a young Mike Mignola. He also started getting advice from like Chris Claremont. And I think he primarily got the permission to set up a table is because the person running the show really liked like his samples, which was pretty.
Him and Mignola, they went to school together.
And like lived in an apartment together too.
They live in the same building. Not
Okay,
the same,
okay.
Yeah.
Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated. Doing it our way.
And I think Ed had already mentioned this, but like after high school, around 18, he started working at a pizzeria. He was like just submitting samples as much as he could, and primarily to Marvel. I think he does state like, when he read that Micronauts, he was really just honed in on like, I'm going to be a comic book artist for Marvel.
These days are ours.
Let's see. Around that time, Joe Rubenstein, artist inker at Marvel, had provided his which one, by the way, Joe Rubenstein also worked on that fucking classic 1982 4-part Wolverine story with Claremont and Frank Miller.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know, some dudes, right?
Some guys.
But Joe Rubenstein got Art Adams connected with Marvel editor at the time, Denny O'Neil and Linda Grant, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yo, R.I.P.
1983, he got his first professional job. He wrote a short story in Bizarre Adventures. Of course, that story and that series, for the most part, was canceled, so that never saw the light of day. He went back to work in the pizzeria, true 8 Mile style, like back to work in the pizzeria.
I was thinking the same
honed
thing,
in on his sample game, man.
Weird.
Let's
I wonder if
see.
he did rap battles.
And this is where it kind of just like skyrocket. It's like, okay, so he had a shot with Denny O'Neil and the short story. The series was canceled, went back to work in the pizzeria, honed in on his craft a little more. And I've read somewhere where his samples at the time was just Marvel characters at this pizzeria fighting like a monster.
Dude, it's like Art Adams is like Hercules, right? Like he's not fully a man, but he's not fully a comic book god, right? Like he has, every now and then he'll go up to Olympus and rub elbows with Zeus and all these other people, right? But then, he comes right back down to earth and fucking is right with his nose in the fucking grindstone with the rest of us.
Yeah. And straight up from there, man, like that series was canceled. That was 1983. 1985, he gets the Long Shot miniseries. And primarily because his samples were discovered by Carl Potts. He was an editor replacing Al Milgram, who was going to do freelancing. He found his work in like a stack of papers as he was cleaning out Al's old office. And he was just turning like 20. So he gets this shot at, drawing Long Shot along Ann Nocenti, right? Mm-hmm. And to Ed's point, it's because no one else wanted to do the series. Yeah. He figured he'd go ahead and give it a shot. And who did he base Long Shot's design on?
Kaja Gugu.
Kaja Gugu. Thank you.
The rest of it, and he was basically saying he wanted to draw a character that didn't look like any other superheroes. If you did a silhouette, he wouldn't look like, So he's very thin, kind of that all black leather with the crazy big. I thought it was like a Bowie type of thing.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But he said it was like Kaja Gugu. I thought it was like, but I don't know if that predates Labyrinth.
Yeah,
the Labyrinth hair.
He looks like fucking David Bowie.
But he gives the credit to I guess because they need it more than Bowie. They need the cred.
Sure.
Well, and here's the interesting thing I found, kind of speaking to his ability to just rub elbows, right place, right time. Nocenti introduced him to Claremont again, and he did. He was drawing the New Mutant Special Edition #1 and Uncanny X-Men Annual #9 in 1985, before Long Shot #1 was released. So he was already working on probably Marvel's biggest titles at the time before his little miniseries came out. And then from there, man, it really kind of like between, like I said, 1985 and like 1990, I think those were probably his prime years, because that's when he started doing like the X-Men posters, merchandising. He moved into Oakland with Mignola and Steve Purcell in that same building.
Oakland, really?
Yeah,
This is a fucking rap. This is a fucking rap, dude. He's living that life.
Core.
Between 86 and 88, we started getting his covers for like the classic X-Men stuff. He did a few more New Mutants and Uncanny X-Men annuals. I think the annuals he did for X-Men was number 9, 10, 12, and 14. He says number 12, the same issue where he introduced the X-Babies, was like his moment where he was like, okay, I feel like a professional. I know what I'm doing. He also did some work with DC around the same time with Batman 400, as well as Action Comics Annual #1. Around like 1987, which I will say, I think his work, like he's just so synonymous with Marvel for me. Like it was definitely a joy to look at some of his DC stuff, but
not as much, right?
No, not as much. Only
Got him.
only because it's
DC.
like,
What did they ever do?
well, when you look at his artwork for like the Action Comics Annual that I just brought up. It is so heavily like influenced. Well, this ain't the right one, but it's so heavily influenced by Frank Miller, because I think Dark Knight came around the same time, and he was trying to, he was really influenced by
86. That was Frank Miller was, Dark Knight Returns, The Watchmen drops. That's the two big things.
He's writing for fucking RoboCop 2. Frank Miller's on top of the world.
Is it 2 or 3? It's 2, right?
He did 2, and he helped write the script for 3.
the ninjas.
God, why do I know that?
Because they're classic
RoboCop
cinema.
3.
Because they're classic cinema.
But
That's why.
So that was around like I said, between 86 and 88. I mean, he was all over the place. 88, he won that Eisner Award for that Gumby Summer
All
Fun
things.
Special. 1990, we got those 3-issue run on the Fantastic Four. What was that? 347 through 349. He did some Godzilla work in like 92. And it was 1994, Negative Burn number 18. That Alan Moore's Godzilla song is the one that he did. For anyone wondering. 1994, he teams up with who was it? Fucking Mignola. Miller.
Legend.
Yeah, for the Legend imprint.
Yeah, there's like Paul Chadwick, Mike Allred, John Byrne, Frank Miller. And I don't know how Allred got in there. Cause
I was about to say, when you said Mike Allred, I was like,
he drew the logo.
Oh, okay.
The Easter Island head logo.
Yep.
Even I've not to sidetrack too much, but I even like read a thing about that because it's like, I'm just you know, what am I doing with these guys? So, but
Mike
yeah,
Albert,
That's a
man.
killer lineup, though, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
legends.
and he was like,
well,
and
no
he-
pun intended.
Yeah, he was recruited to do some stuff for Image by like Jim Lee,
Yeah.
and Eric Larson, but
Yeah.
he was friends with Mignola and John Byrne and Frank Miller, so he basically chose that just because he was knew those guys better. He was friends with those guys.
Yeah, it seems like Art Adams has had opportunities to basically just follow where he just wanted to go,
Yeah,
right?
and he was never interested in doing like creator, and that was never his priority.
Yeah.
And I think it was the smart call to go with Legends because I think his art would have just either gotten lost or I don't think it would have stood out with like the Image crew. I'm sure he would have popped off. He probably would have been just as successful, but
I don't know.
It would have been, I think, different. Like
I
how
think it
Sam
would've.
Keith was so different from
Yeah.
the other Image guys.
Yeah.
Like that second wave of Image.
is he really
creators.
well, I guess the better question is, are they that much different than Art Adams to like really for him to stand out? I think
Yeah.
him amongst like the Mignola, the Frank Miller, the whoever else was in the Legends imprint, like Art Adams to me stands out amongst
Well,
all
all
of them.
those guys are completely different.
And I think
the
that's
thing,
I think that's why that was a smart move because I feel like
Yeah.
if Art Adams had taken Eric Larson's offer
But
to
long game Image would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
Because
you
Legend
got
was
me
only
there.
around for
like 4 years, like 1998.
So I think having Frank Miller and John Byrne in charge, that's like no bueno
Yeah.
for your group.
Oh my
As
God.
volatile as those guys
Okay,
are.
Yeah.
all right. From a business perspective,
Yeah,
All
just
right.
long. But
I'll
yeah,
agree.
I see what you're saying as far as just uniqueness. It doesn't. But I think what he would have came up with, the Monkey Man and O'Brien,
Yep.
is different from what the other guys like Spawn, Wetworks,
Wildcats.
Stormwatch, Wildcats. That's completely different than the spandex hero stuff that the other guys were doing.
And I think this goes back to how I think C was just talking about. Like he was never in it for the fame, or any of that. It's just like I just want to draw. This is a really great job that I love. To know that he's been around since '85, and he's only, as far as I know, got one creator owned property, Monkey Man and O'Brien, which I mean is only 3 issues and maybe some change.
There was
maybe
3
a couple
issues,
annuals.
like a Dark Horse Presents, and I think there was a Gen 13 crossover that he
yes,
drew.
yeah.
But
Gen 13.
yeah,
And it was cool and kind of go back to Mignola. It was cool that Monkey Man and O'Brien, his creator owned stuff. Its first appearance was in Hellboy: Seed of Destruction, a Mignola joint,
Yeah.
So his connections, man. I think that's where I get the most out of this is that his connections definitely paid off.
I think a lot of like good timing and
Yeah.
connections on top of having that skill, is like just the perfect formula for him.
Yeah. And then, like I said, for the majority, the rest of his career, I mean, definitely some big stuff came out, but it just was just consistent work. I mean, in 1996, Dark Horse published like an Art Adams Creature Features book, and it had like they published like his tributes to various B-movie monsters. Things like Creature of the Black Lagoon, 2 of his Godzilla stories. That book is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
God
It's out of
damn.
print. The funny thing with the Creature of the Black Lagoon, I don't know if you saw this in an interview, but he was trying to, he was trying to make the characters look like the movie counterparts, not just the creature, but the actors and actresses. And he thought, man, I think I did a really good job on this. And then he got the notes from the publishers like, we don't have the rights to the people. Thank God your stuff looks nothing like those guys.
Oh, no.
He's like,
I guess I didn't do as good a job as I thought.
And then with just to go back to the Fantastic Four, he's originally like the new Fantastic Four. They were going to take the 4 best-selling characters in Marvel, and it was originally going to be Punisher, but he vetoed he said,
Wow.
He doesn't have a favorite hero, but there's like some people that he doesn't really care about drawing.
Yeah.
Punisher is one of them, and he's just like, I don't like drawing guns, and I don't see the appeal. This guy just kills people. What's that about? And so
Unless
he
it's a monster doing it. Then
but
I'm
they do
good.
that Punisher cameo, that funny Punisher cameo at the end of that 3-issue run.
Yeah.
But originally it was supposed to be Punisher in that 4 instead of the Hulk. But he wanted to draw monster.
Instead of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, what a horrible. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I'd like that sucks.
Yeah, no. No, yeah, get
It's a good
Frank
call.
out of there. Yeah.
we do the homework for you guys out there, man. That was a good one, Ed. Thank you. And then, of course, in like the early 2000s, he worked with Steve Moore. No relation to Alan Moore, by the way.
But they worked together.
on Wildstorm Productions for Johnny Future was like his other kind of creator owned. I think his only other creator owned character.
Yeah, he kind of co-created that with Alan Moore,
Steve Moore,
and
right?
Steve. They both worked on it.
Oh, okay.
And just that one, that's like I
Is
think
he a Brit too? Steve
yeah,
Moore?
They both worked at like 2000 AD together.
That's
but they're
great.
not related. Yeah. Actually, he was like kind of almost like a mentor to Alan Moore. But they're not related.
Your name's Moore. Your name's Moore.
But it's like an Adam Strange Barbarella kind of thing, and he said he like had to change the adult because he said Alan Moore wanted her to wear like a see-through shirt the whole time. He's like,
really?
Yeah. He's like, how am I gonna? I'm not gonna do that. So, but if you see the costume, it's very kind of that Barbarella, like cheesecakey.
Alan Moore, huh?
Yeah, he's a He's a pervert.
I think when he started working for Wildstorm, he also worked on.
She's topless, mate.
He also worked on the like 3 issues of the Authority too.
Yeah,
which I think the story from that one was that there was something involving the Twin Towers in that story, and it was around the same time as September 11th, and they had him redraw, I guess, certain issues of it.
It was that, and it was like a kind of a tone down the violence mandate.
Okay,
because of the that whole time,
Okay, yeah, all right, that's what I got. But yeah, I mean, between like the 2000s, he did do some work for Marvel. I mean, those Hulk series I was talking about, the Incredible Hercules, but he also worked on books for just about every publisher, man. Like Vampirella, he worked on. He did covers for Red Sonja. His Thundercats cover is awesome.
I got that.
I got that too.
Xena Warrior Princess. I mean, I think at that time he was just doing covers. I think that's when he solidified, this cover game. I've got this on lock.
Mm-hmm.
But he did do some material work in 2010 for Marvel's Ultimate X number 1 through 5. And I remember the promo for that too, because I think I've got like one of them promotional posters for it, because it was supposed to be like a big deal. Like, Art Adam is back to doing interiors. And it was his first Ultimate line, his first work for like Marvel's Ultimate line. But outside of that, man, he's done illustrations for magazines, including PlayStation Magazine. He's done toy designs. He's done designs for video games. The X-Men themed cans of Chef Boyardee. Even worked doing some illustrations for pieces for GQ magazine as well, man. Like he's just
busy, and that's one of the things that kind of he said that kind of took away from his creator on stuff. He's just I just can't turn down work. I'm just gonna take the work I can get it. Yeah. Oh, and another funny thing about people he doesn't like drawing is Deadpool. And he did some. He's like, I mean, that's cool. People like him, but I don't get it. But when I did he did some variant covers, and it's like I did this thing like a joke to myself. I drew him smaller and smaller in each cover, to where there's like one was like a ice cream truck kind of falling on him, and he's smaller. And then one he drew like this giant shark, and he's like small, about to get eaten. So I just kept drawing him smaller and smaller, and drawing stuff I want to draw around it.
That's great.
I will say I also ended up using the Marvel Unlimited app, because you can also search by creator. So I was just curious to see, like,
what a fucking shill. I also started using the Marvel Unlimited app, which, by the way, is at a
special
low price
promotion right now.
If you use code
Type in Stepbox
SBX,
30-day free.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
But I mean, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please.
please do that shit.
No, but I typed in Art Adams, because you can search by creators, and they'll show you, hey, here's what they've been credited, whether it's like a cover or just something they've been credited to. And I mean, the dude's been doing work. I mean, he's done covers for very relevant and modern, like, Marvel comic stuff, including like just recently the Marvel Comics Presents relaunch series they did in 2019.
He did that giant Original Sin interlocking variant cover.
He did the War of Realms covers with Jason Aaron's series. He did all the not all of them, but he did up to like 21 covers for the X-Men Blue series in 2017. I mean, the covers look great.
Covers are great.
They look amazing.
Covers are amazing.
That's another cool thing. So I just did the covers, guys.
Racism?
I just did the covers.
Oh, yeah.
He did the covers for Guardians of the Galaxy when Brian Michael Bendis was taken over in 2015, which was probably the only reason I was buying those books. And even like his Avengers stuff, all new X. I mean, the dude's, even to this day, he's still doing amazing work on Marvel comic covers.
And he does like commissions too. So between that and private commissions, I went to look and see just how much you're getting yourself into.
Made you throw up, huh?
He's like, I'm too busy. He's like, it's shut down for right now. So he didn't even put any. It's like one of those things if you have to ask, for I can't afford it.
You have to ask, little
and it's
man,
like, and it's funny because it's like, hey, if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
It's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's some freaking dick on the table shit
Yeah.
right there. Like,
It's like, you know what I'm bringing to the table here.
you know you'll like it. But if you don't, you're lying.
Ashley, from like a technical perspective, like from an artist perspective, what is it about his work that like stands out? What's so good about it from like an artist point of view?
It's just so detailed. Like especially his Creature from the Black Lagoon and his Godzilla stuff. There's just so many little details in it. And it I guess he only does like he doesn't even do a page of pencils a day.
Is that uncommon? Is that like is that slow to not be able to do
slow.
a
That's
that is
really
very
slow.
slow.
Yeah.
What's the average?
You should get at least a page or
Page
two a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the average comic is what 22 pages,
Yeah.
something like that,
And that's
you
before going to
have-
an inker and a colorist, and
Right.
a
Yeah, and
letterer,
then
and,
meeting your deadline and stuff, like
this
to
is
get
all
it
like
out every
assembly
month.
line. You got to get that shit done. You know.
Yeah, which is probably why he doesn't do interiors. He just,
it's just
can't ever get them out on time. But just to have that amount of like attention and just to be like that, like methodical about it, it's really amazing.
Yeah, and the cool thing with his like hatching, his cross hatching, it's like every hatching is meticulous, and like when you see just the hatching on the arms and stuff, it gives the characters a lot more volume in the shading. And there's guys that do a lot of hatching. I'll say like Todd McFarlane, and this is not a slight, but his is
Get him.
chaos.
Get him.
His is like, because he's like, I can do that scratchy shit too, and his is like detailed, but it's chaotic.
Yeah, there's
detail.
going to be just dots for no reason.
Yeah, but Arthur, every line, every meticulous little line is there for a reason.
It's that Bernie influence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That very much so. That Bernie writes in. And when you see his black and white work with all the cross hatching, especially his later stuff, since he has time to just do the covers,
Yeah.
it's like you can. It's an optical illusion where it's black and white, but all that hatching and like where it gets heavier and lighter, it kind of gives you that impression that there's like gray in the
Yeah,
drawing.
fucking talk
but there's
dirty to me.
not. But it's incredible. Like all the little lines, even just the little things on the arm, it's all kind of making lighting and shape with just line work. And he said that's one of the cool things about drawing is like, this isn't a person. The eyes go into patterns. They kind of seek out patterns and shapes and make them into things, but they aren't really. It's like, this is just a bunch of black lines on paper. This isn't a bunch of superheroes fighting a monster. So just the technique and just how how detailed he is. Like Ashley was saying, like a lot of, especially with the Creature from the Black Lagoon or his Godzillas, they'll put like 3 lines and then a few lines here and there just to kind of give you the idea of scales, but he'll draw every single fucking one.
He fills it in, fills it all in.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's all controlled. It's all intentional. So it's really stands out about his stuff, and he keeps that cartooniness with it, like with the facials and stuff like that. So you have this ultra level of like classical cross hatching and detail, but you also have that cartooniness, and that's why his work pops so much, because that's like a goal I'd like to achieve, which I won't, but it's like something I would like to. That's kind of like always been my goal, to kind of be detailed, but kind of keep that cartooniness and loose and like but still have like movement and stuff.
Damn, man, that was really fucking good. Like, yeah, I just want to go to a break and maybe do championship.
I just left.
God. No, that was
Where'd
good.
everybody go? I blacked out.
Damn, I feel like I should lead the art talk, because mine is always like, I like the coloring a lot. Well, I did want to say that I think his lighting, like his use of lighting, is always like noticeable. And I'm thinking about what comes to mind is the way he drew the scrolls in those Fantastic Four issues. Like, I think 347.
Like the lighting coming up.
Yeah, like the underlighting, and then even like when he does like the spotlighting, it's always like noticeable. It's like, oh man, that looks like there is a real like light coming out, light source coming from
seeing
them.
his stuff in black and white, which you should check out his Instagram, because it's all processed.
Oh man, his Instagram is good.
It's so cool. And a lot of artists, and actually this, like if there's like a lot of blacks, a lot of people just put, the inker's going to put the X.
Yeah.
He doesn't put the X. It's all.
He's like, fuck that X.
He's one of those guys that prefers doing the inking himself over than having someone else do it, because they're more likely going to take the shortcuts, or not really.
Sure, they're not going to be as meticulous as he would.
And there's parts where he says where there's some things that I thought was finished, but I don't know until I actually put the inks down. I got to finish this section here.
Awesome.
I think the word fun embodies Art Adams to me, and like. I think also learning more about his personality, where he's kind of like more laid back. He's not seeking like an ego.
Laid back.
But and even like the literal aspects of what makes his books fun. I mean, the facial expressions. Like he had David Letterman. He drew David Letterman in an issue. I think of like that Spider-Man annual.
Spider-Man and Warlock kind of team.
Some of the faces that he drew for like the scroll. I'm gonna go back to the scrolls again. But some of the faces and expressions he drew were like it's really like comical and whatnot. But also like his Easter eggs too. I forgot what issue it was, but someone was breaking down like, oh, you can see Longshot in the back, you can see Gumby in the back. Like, he's always doing like that fun because all of his work is so detailed.
Yeah, and that Spider-Man, I think he did like a Speed Racer where Warlock turns into Speed Racer, the car, and then there's like a Godzilla. He turns into a Godzilla and King Kong. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I was watching these two, and it's actually part of my champion, but it was just like showing him like drawing, and I guess his process involved like he draws with like a blue pencil or something, and then he inks over it, but. What I'm getting at is he's got like a signature use of lines like that. The blue pencils, it looked great, but once he started inking it and applying his own like lines, like for like the eyebrows or like the structures for like the face and expressions, it was like, damn, this piece of art isn't even done yet, and you can just show me this, and I'd be like, oh yeah, Art Adams drew that, like just from that one little eyebrow line or that line he drew above like the mouth and whatnot. It's like. Yeah, he's locked down the ability to make a signature like look to it. See, what about you, man? From a technical perspective.
Yeah, no, fuck me, right? Yeah, let's just. Yeah, you just said everything that I told you half an hour ago. And
no, he didn't.
That's cool.
Damn, yo,
that's cool, man. Hey,
throw dirt on my name.
I don't fucking draw or anything.
Rude.
Shit. No,
I thought you were actually just being like kind and like a team player and like everyone's like chiming in.
No, of course not. Of course not.
That's why no one talks before we record.
This show?
You're like, you muted me, you bastards. You muted me. I was talking the whole time.
See, this is how messed up the dynamic is on the show. Is that we feel betrayed when someone doesn't do something dirty to you.
You think by the time we hit 300, we'll have that resolved?
Nope.
That's a big fuck no.
Got it.
Yeah, no. Basically, everything that I had said, like before we started recording, the idea that I was, when we were doing the Will Eisner episode, we would watch. We all have been exposed to his work, and we're all familiar with that sort of like older mentor, sort of like the job is that guy makes the job look easy, right? Like Will Eisner could look, and he'd be like, so when you're drawing eyes. You do this right here, and this makes the person's eyes look angry. Zoot, zoot, and he'll do like 2 lines, and it's the most angriest eyes you've ever seen. And he'll be like, then you take these same lines and go, zoot, zoot. Same 2 lines, he moves them around slightly, and now this is a happy person. And you're like, God damn it, how does that happen? Art Adams does the exact same thing. And I don't know, I mean, I'm sure, of course, Will Eisner has influenced everybody in some minor way, but I think that's sort of like a natural thing too. Like, I don't know if that can necessarily be taught. It's maybe how you see the world. And I think Art Adams is really good at doing things like creating a believable facial expression because that's just how naturally gifted he is. Like, he can just look and be like, oh yeah, I know how to translate emotion to this character exactly the way when someone looks, be like, yeah, I know I can make someone feel something when they look at Longshot's face, or you see Kitty Pryde, or anybody, Robbie Reyes of all people. Like, he makes a character that has basically a car grill for a face have expressions.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. It really is insane. So I'd say like that's the thing that really sticks out to me is that sort of natural, can't teach kind of talent. It's just raw, and he just cultivated it even more. I totally understand why he's very hands-on with his work.
Another kind of Ghost Rider tidbit of the new Fantastic Four is like Ghost Rider. He made the
head smaller
because of the skin and hair.
Because anatomy-wise, you'd have skin.
So he looks really jacked.
Yeah,
with the small head.
Yeah, makes sense. The guy knows what he's doing.
What would be your go-to, I guess...
How dare you not fucking acknowledge anything I said just now?
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Great. Hey, did you must have missed me a lot.
Oh, man.
Because Cranky Cesar only has
Cranky.
recorded.
Wow.
Cranky C.
Yes, victims are cranky.
If you had to recommend one body of work or a image that, that stands out to you, to someone, to a new fan, or even like an old fan to maybe kind of like jog their memory or just kind of have them look at it in a different light, what would be that image or body of work? Ashley?
So it got canceled, but that 4 issues that he did of that Creature from the Black Lagoon adaptation is just beautiful. It's just amazing.
Wait, is it available online? You said it got canceled.
It was from like back in the day.
Dark Horse, right?
Huh.
Yeah, it was an old Dark Horse. He wanted to do I think he wanted to do a sequel to Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they said we'll just do the adaptation first, and then we'll do the sequel. But then it got canceled 4 issues in. But the art from that is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. Dang, I'm thinking X-Men. I'm like X-Men.
Marvel. This is only good work.
That was good. Man, I love these jokes. Blake, don't think you ain't not getting a text from me about this brony damn fucking picture. Ed, what about you, man? What would be your recommendation for new and old fans?
Oh man, I think my personal, I guess, favorites, if you can find them, it's the stuff he did in the Tom Strong series and the Monkey Man and O'Brien, his creator-owned series, because that's basically it's all the stuff he wants to draw, like girls, gorillas, and he is as good as he draws monsters. I don't know if there's anyone who draws a gorilla guy better than Art Adams. And there's, of course, a gorilla in Tom Strong, too. But Tom Strong, his Joni Future, and some of his... because if you haven't read Tom Strong, they have a really cool trope to where when he flashbacks into stories or reminisces, they get a guest artist on every issue to kind of draw the story. And then they did a series called Terrific Tales, which kind of has Tom Strong as a kid, like stories of him. And then they have some other, like his daughter. And then they have the Joni Strange, which we talked about. And that's, I think, he said that's his best work. And I have to kind of agree with him. Just because those issues came out. And so it was only like 8 pages per issue that he had to draw, 4 to 8 pages. So he had the time to kind of really go into detail. So those two, if you can find them, I definitely recommend those.
Those are good ones. Good ones. See?
I'm waiting. Is there a joke?
No, Cesar, I really value your opinion.
What do you got to say, dude?
Right? I guess let's cater to old C. What does this guy have to say?
Cesar, I would love...
I'm waiting.
I am on pins and needles for your response. I want to hear your insight, your valuable input.
Don't want to be on the show anymore.
I want to hear about your experience.
The short box no more?
Yeah.
Damn. I thought C was our voice guy, Ed.
He fucking have
my only one.
Do it.
It's the only one I do.
Nope, Ed's doing it now. Ed's doing it. I'm fucking done. I quit.
Well, you said that's the only voice you do?
It's the only one I do.
I was gonna.
Thank God you're on the show called The Short Box. Or else that'd be like, this is a
Short.
All right, so for
You son of a bitch. No, I would say for sure the new Fantastic Four. It's collected in a trade. Like you could just buy it.
That's how good them issues are.
Yeah, but seriously, that's seriously
3 issues. Put them in a trade.
Yeah, seriously. And his Batman and Superman stuff where they team up, which is really, really interesting considering all the contemporaries that he legit directly influenced would end up doing Batman and Superman. Ed McGuinness, J. Scott Campbell. God, who else? Joe Madureira has done Batman and Superman. Like it's crazy. Like it's like, wait, this style lends well to this. Yeah, because fucking Art Adams paved the way for you jabronis. Like, yeah, no shit.
You could say he like influenced kind of where I think that and like kind of manga kind of influenced that more cartoony aspect.
Sure. Like so those are my picks.
Okay. Very good pick, Cesar. Those were good. Those were really solid. I like them.
Great.
I might actually pass up mine. No, yours.
No, it's cool, man. I'm gonna wear some boots.
Great
next time I get on the
picks,
show,
bro. Great picks.
Real quick, because I think we've, for the most part, listed just about everyone that he has influenced. I mean, we've said, Jim Lee, McFarlane, Liefeld, Ed McGuinness.
Not me. Never
Mad
me.
Joe.
Todd McFarlane,
but
never.
Todd did say, I don't know if he said this already, but Todd did say that he wasn't as good as Arthur Adams, but he could put out a book a month. So the backhanded compliments of Todd McFarlane.
Thank you.
It's like saying, hey, you're pretty good
Not
for
bad, kid.
a girl. Like one of those things. Like it's like, ugh.
So I'll go ahead and add to that list because I feel like we forgot about J. Scott Campbell. I think there's a lot of.
I literally just said that.
You did not say just. Did you say
did.
just
You kinda did.
Like
Damn, I'm so sorry.
3 times.
He just blanks out when you start talking.
Listeners? Yeah. Listeners?
That's great, see?
Ashley, are you just having a grand old time in the corner cracking up? She's like, let the boys kill each other. And then I'll be free to rule the Short Box podcast. Sorry, see, I apologize. Then I'll also add...
fucking hate you.
Yo, he introduced the X-Babies in Uncanny X-Men Annual number 10, which I think we're still seeing that trend with Scotty Young, who picked up on that gimmick and fucking ran with it.
Yeah.
I'll throw Scotty Young's name in there, but I'd be remiss if I didn't include who I consider like the fucking Art Adams straight children, Aaron Kruger and fucking Nick Bradshaw.
Nick Bradshaw is like
being like you. I
traces
sometimes
his stuff and puts it on there.
Sometimes I'm like, is this Art Adams or the other guy?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it is
imitation, but it's like come on.
Nick Bradshaw's face are a little more like square.
Yeah,
that's how I could tell.
Hot takes.
It's almost it's like you show your influences, but there's a breaking point to where it's like I'm just tracing this guy's stuff.
I just want Art Adams to roll up in there and like smash his head in with a ravioli can. The fucking it's that fucking Boyardee money, bitch.
Yo, his skull would break before the can broke. Like that shit would still be like perfect. But I am curious if Nick Bradshaw is somehow maybe was trained by Art. Like it's just so similar. I wonder if there is some training.
I mean,
literally. That's his pen name, Nick Bradshaw.
You're my baby, Sash.
All right, I'll go ahead and recommend the giant size X-Men Annual number 9, which is it's got the cover of Storm swinging the Thor's hammer, and I recommend this one because you get Art Adams you get the New Mutants, his X-Men stuff, but you also get a bunch of like Thor, like Loki and Thor in this too. So you get like a wide range of all of these characters, and I specifically want to highlight that you also get New Mutants in this, and Warlock, who I think he draws Warlock freaking
fucking
awesome,
Warlock's
man.
Great.
Because he kind of blends like that.
You can do anything you want with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I recommend, like I said, Uncanny X-Men Annual number 9. I think the Long Shot series is definitely one to check out as well. It's only 5 issues. I know it's really fun. The covers are really awesome. And lastly, his classic X-Men covers, man. Like, I remember being fooled so much by those covers, like, oh, the art's going to be the same inside. And granted, it's a reprint for the most part, but it's still like, classic material. But I've been tricked so many times how good those fucking classic X-Men covers are. Like, they're worth buying if you ever see them out in the wild, just because the covers are so good.
Out in the wild.
And classic X-Men number 1, I mean, you could just sit down and just study every character he's got on here because they all look so different and unique. Like they got their own unique, oh my god, shit, outlines.
He draw good.
So those are my 2.
That's the thing.
Sadly,
it's like
move on.
You talk about you want to when you do a silhouette of a character.
Thank you, silhouette. God,
you want to. They have to look different. You
Right,
can say,
right.
oh, that's Hulk. That's Wolverine. That's Storm.
Yeah. I think in closing, I will say, I think we already kind of expressed, like, I know for me at first, it was like, man, Art Adams, what's the angle
does
on
everything
that?
have a favorite cover since he's a cover guy now? Does anyone have a favorite?
Shit, man. Some of his X-Men Blue stuff from like 15,
Really?
16 are so...
You're not a gold guy?
We can like smash my head over the chef word.
You're fucking not a gold?
I will.
Wait, never mind.
I'll probably stick with classic X-Men number 1 because you just kind of, for me, that image is like, yeah, I can see how this influenced like the Konami game, like the Jim Lee, all that good stuff. What about you?
I gotta say, and I don't know if it's just because I just saw this, but that I'll pull it up and show you guys. But that Invincible cover with the Angel of Death.
I got to see that.
Oh my
that sounds
god,
pretty good.
That is insane. There's like little skeleton guys grabbing at him. And it's like the wings. It's an incredible piece.
Ashley, what about you? Got a favorite cover?
I'm just checking some of them. I don't know if I have like a favorite one, but he did some really good Vampirella covers.
You're goddamn right, Ashley.
Damn. Actually, you know what? To C's point, I think I might have got a little confused. X-Men Gold number, what is this one? Of course, Marvel Unlimited app takes forever to load. I mean, it does. It's a perfect tool.
You can't rush greatness. You can't rush it.
Damn, I can't tell what. All right, X-Men Gold number 13 from 2017. If you want something like modern, then yeah, I recommend that. And I think me and C were talking like Art Adams has managed to even like in this modern time adapt. But
He's changed his style, but not really.
Not
really.
too
Right?
much.
Like, and it's funny when I say change style. Like, I don't.
It's
mean,
almost like more detailed.
Yeah, right, right. Like, it's like some artists, the older they get, they're like,
Simplify
I've learned
stuff.
to tell a story with simpler lines. So long as the story is being told, I don't have to be as detailed as I was when I was younger. Right? Like Art Adams is kind of like. Godzilla could have more scales.
Oh my God, this covers.
And
He could have more scales.
There's one that's a really cool one that I saw recently. Was did you see the Scooby Doo Slender Man crossover?
Is that an Art Adams joint?
Dude,
It doesn't. Oh shit!
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
how awesome is that?
That's fucking
A
sweet.
silly-
I told
that-
y'all to stop bringing that.
As soon as I said
Scooby.
Scooby Doo Slender Man, everyone's like, and like, oh damn, that's good.
Boo, Ed. Shut up, Ed.
I don't have a favorite per se. I'll say I like the classic X-Men because it's totally the doorknob sign I had. But anytime Art Adams draws Apocalypse, I fucking love that shit because he puts like the wrinkles on his like the smoker's wrinkles on his upper lip. You know, like because he's fucking old as shit. You know, like Apocalypse is this old Egyptian dude. He's just sitting here like, and it's funny. I was just thinking like, En Sabanur is rolling around. He's a fucking old ass. He's fucking gray. He's creepy. Apocalypse should look creepy, and Art Adams knows how to draw him to where he looks fucking scary.
I agree. I'll also add this Monsters because he did the covers for the Monsters Unleashed. I remember the promo art too. And I mean, if you want to see that, his natural love of just like big fucking monsters.
He probably did those for
like aliens.
half price.
I was about to say, yeah.
He's like, I got these.
Like, he like lifts up a sleeve, and there's like groom tattooed on his shoulder.
They're pretty solid. So, all right, man. I think we did a pretty good job covering Art Adams and paying our respect. I want to go ahead and let the listeners know if you've got a unique story or thought on Art Adams, or if he's got like a piece of work that has really kind of resonated with you throughout the years. Let us know. Shoot us an email at theshortboxjacks@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail. We will probably a couple months before we do our next artist spotlight, but I would be curious to hear what are some of the other names and nominees out there that you guys want to kind of hear us do.
When Junji Ito wins, you will have another one there ready for you guys.
I think the next one should. I think we should.
Ito.
Well, damn! I was supposed to mention this in the beginning, but
That too.
I want to let everyone know that we're going to open up the episode voting that includes the artist spotlights to all patrons, regardless of the tier. Right now, it's only been one tier, but I think it's fair to say, if you're contributing to the Short Box via Patreon, you should have a voice in our episodes and things like artist spotlight. And
Jeff Lemire for Ashley. Jeff Lemire.
Ashley, do you have an artist you want to like see us kind of tackle next, or
Jeff Lemire?
I know anyone but Jeff Lemire.
Okay, so Jeff Lemire. All right, so cool.
Anyone but Jeff Lemire?
Leafield.
That
That would be fun. That would be a
a fun one. Honestly, that would be really fun to do.
I think it would. So is that your vote, Leafield?
I can't in good conscience give that as my vote.
I got
You will not have recorded evidence against me.
I think it's safe to assume Junji Ito for C.
No,
Ed,
Mobius for me.
Okay, Mobius. Ed, you got
I'm going to
anyone?
second Mobius.
Okay. I'm going to say I really kind of want to do a Jim Lee episode.
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about only because I stood by a very strong argument alongside Walt and Andrew. I don't know if you guys listened to the previous episode.
I saw that. Was Andy trying to talk shit about 90s X-Men?
Oh man, I'll say this. You definitely got to listen to it for full context, but
Okay.
we were having a discussion about the
I
Michael
saw his
Jordan.
expression.
I saw Walt's expression too.
That is the greatest fucking meme I've ever video I've ever taken of
It's like
any
that
short box.
gymnast girl who's not impressed, where she's like,
But we were having a discussion that turned to a really lively debate about the Michael Jordan of comic book artists. I stood by Jim Lee. I gave my facts.
"What? Of all comic book artists, everywhere,
Do the Walt
Michael
pose.
Jordan.
Do the Walt pose.
Yeah, the Michael Jordan of comic book
more than
artists.
Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
You've lost your damn
Jack
mind.
Kirby's like the Bill Russell.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
was about
Thank
to
you.
say-
The Wilt Chamberlain.
The
He
Wilt
built
Chamberlain.
the foundation. Jim Lee happened to just take that shit, to the next level. But anyways, so I
Oh,
definitely
you
want
mean
to
like
do.
a commercial success?
I'll definitely, yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Oh, okay.
the Michael Jordan of comic books. What is the
Right,
Michael
right.
Jordan of anything? The greatest.
Talent.
Well, you got to factor to talent and the fact that him starting his own label, him selling out. I mean,
Ed, look, me and you, Ed, we don't got to. Ed, we right here, baby. We right here, baby.
Him as an office guy as well as an artist.
He excelled in
Kirby
every.
Kirby didn't do any of that shit.
No.
None of it.
No, I mean he did not have the same
not to the level
success.
of Lee,
exactly.
but it's a different industry. Too.
I was about to say, in context with the time period, he didn't do any of that shit.
I mean,
because time period counts. Context.
I'm not going to debate for you. You tell me. Like, I mean,
you're making the claim. I don't have to
Walt
support
face.
it.
Everyone,
look, but I already spent. No. I won.
Let me tell you.
I won over Walt because he had debated Kirby after some time. Thought about it. He's like, you know what? I'll sign up Jim Lee. Andrew, on the other hand, gave me some like choices. I was like,
who did he say?
What did he say?
Man,
No, you brought it up. You brought it up.
I ain't going to disrespect my brother on here.
No, that ain't disrespect.
He said it.
I believe his were Andy Kubert
Get
was
the
one.
fuck out! Get the fuck out of here, Andy Kubert.
All right, go ahead.
Come on, dude.
And then
if you thought Jim Lee was ridiculous,
no,
and then
Adam Kubert,
garbage, son.
his dad is more Michael Jordan.
Man, I forget if there's another one, but then he went back to Jack Kirby.
Andy is more than him. The fuck out of
So
here.
I will back to my because I want to go on break, man. God damn.
Brought this up. Potter brought this up. Everyone.
He did that just to troll. He's a troll.
Yo, look, that was a fun. And here's the thing: I've always, anytime we go record with Walt, I'm always with the mindset of Walt's going to say some blasphemous shit that's going to get me angry. But this time it was Walt and Drew, and I was like, man, this is great to fucking sit on the sidelines. I'm just recording this.
Puppet master over here. Dance puppets.
So I will say, I think a Jim Lee episode is definitely overdue because he's always on our poll.
Yeah, we're gonna get to him. We will get.
I would like to either also extend it out to maybe a very iconic manga artist or a woman, female comic book artist in some capacity. I think just to kind of branch out and get.
I have said in the past, Fiona Staples.
Fiona Staples
fell on deaf ears. Or Babs Tarr.
Babs Tarr.
Yeah, you guys hear that? Who the hell's talking? Anyway.
What about Jill Thompson? If you want to do someone with more history,
sure.
Okay. All right.
There's
I like some of these names. I like some of these names. Let's go ahead and let our.
You're like, I don't know any of them, but I like them. I like names.
Yeah.
I like names like Bob,
I've heard
or
them.
Amanda
Tommy.
Connor. Amanda Connor.
Yo, damn, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We'll let our patrons and listeners decide.
Yes.
Let's go on break. This was a really good conversation. Like I said, patrons and listeners, if you guys have a Artist Spotlight nominee or thoughts on Art Adams or even the comic book, the Michael Jordan comic books, I'd
we
like
really
to hear
did not stick that landing.
Yeah, fuck that up.
Shit the bed.
Sorry. Yeah, let's just go on break. Yo,
In the world.
DJ Crumbs. We're going to play some music by DJ Crumbs. This one is called Beat 56. We'll come back. We'll definitely do champion season. I kind of want to talk about this Comic-Con at home stuff. So stay tuned. You got enough for the whole class, Ashley?
I like that fucking ASMR we got going.
Hold on, let me get a drink here.
Hey,
Oh, Butter, I was going to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
ASMR channel.
Just call me ma'am.
Yes, I did. Sorry. It's habit.
She's like, yo, fuck your ma'am.
When you were reading
It's a southern thing.
Sex Criminals, did you read the tips in the back? Like the sex tips in the back of the issues?
So I downloaded it from the Humble Bundle, the Image Comics Humble Bundle. So it only had volume 1. It only had volume 1.
Okay.
So I'm not done with volume 1 yet, unless it's at the end of this volume.
It's probably at the end of the volume. They just like put them all together.
Okay, I have not.
Okay, just make sure you keep going.
Sure you keep going.
Father's like, yeah. He does a little burlesque show for himself. What's this? A new issue of Sex Criminals?
Hold all my claws, Blythe.
My dick is out.
Thank you, Cesar. I don't know that part. I think we got that part.
Rubbing macho.
Actually, I will be sure to.
I'm committing to this joke.
Read
I'm
it
committing
from the
to it.
beginning to the end. I got it.
I like to fuck feet.
Whoa. That explains the socks.
No, I just didn't want like Corey to catch my toes being all weird and stuff. I forgot. Was it Joe's pictures? I was like, man, I really should start wearing socks. My toes is all doing like gang signs in the pictures.
What side?
Duval Joe exposed Botter's gnarly ass feet.
It's one of them. Well, welcome back. Like I said, that was DJ Crumbs. Big shout out to him for letting us play all these dope tunes these past episodes. That was Beat 56. We don't got any emails today to read. Malcolm, I was expecting a rebuttal to the Michael Jordan of comic books topic, but I guess someone was too busy living a full life. Anyways.
Wow. He's sure he's going to send a ton of emails now.
Malcolm, Botter does not speak for the rest of the crew. We love you still, sir.
I'm kidding, Mal. I'm kidding.
These are lies.
No, but we do have a voicemail to play. It is from our sponsors over at Gotham. They got something pretty cool coming up. The day that this drops publicly on Wednesday. For all of you Mandalorian and Star Wars fans here in Jacksonville, we're going to play his voicemail.
Hey, Shortbox listeners. It's Ben Kingsbury up here, Gotham City Limit, Jacksonville's premier comic book specialty shop. I'm giving you a real quick early shout out about an exclusive event we got going down in shop this week, Wednesday, July 29th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We will have the Star Wars Mandalorian actor Dominic Pace, who played Gecko the Bounty Hunter, in shop, meeting and greeting, answering questions, excelling exclusive Star Wars merch on top of an already awesome new comic book day. So can't wait to see you. Stop by the shop. If you have any questions, give us a buzz. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Word. Shout outs to Ben Kingsbury over there at Gotham City Limit.
Kingsbury.
Hopefully you guys check it out. For those of you living in the Jacksonville area, that event is taking place the same time you're listening to this podcast later in the day. So July 29th, Wednesday. Of course, our patrons, heard this bitch on Monday.
God.
They already planned on it.
Oh, my God.
What was that? I know what mine was, but what was that?
I don't know. I was just feeding off that negative energy. All that fucking sexual jokes were making me like fucking hype. Like,
I gotta remember that. I looked over while we were listening to that voicemail, and I was like, "Oh, Corey can't hear it. He must think like we're like in a moment of prayer or some shit." Like we
Moment of
brain dead.
silence.
Yeah. So check it out. And shoot us a voicemail or email next time, man. If you guys got thoughts to share, champions to share. Anything that you guys want us to read or talk about. Before we get into champion season, I did want to talk about the San Diego Comic-Con. Comic-Con at Home is what they did this year. So basically it's the giant virtual Comic-Con, various panels taking place on the Comic-Con website, YouTube channel, etc. Did anyone check out any particular panels, take a look at any trailers, clips, etc.?
Some Maisie's eyebrows. Those were crazy.
that little girl.
Damn.
I
mean, I know my jokes are bad.
No,
I mean,
poor
she's
little
a-
girl.
What'd she do to you?
Nothing. It's just why is she rocking Bert and Ernie's eyebrows?
Still Wolfsbane.
She was at home.
She's a
She wasn't
werewolf.
on the set.
She's got to stay in character.
Oh my
She was in character for that panel?
god! Just like
Easy, Maisie.
that was kind of jarring to me.
So I'm assuming you watched the New Mutants panel. Ed?
Hold
I
on.
don't know. I just watched those eyebrows.
I was going to
I didn't
say.
hear anything.
I was going to say that since San Diego Comic Con ain't about fucking comics anymore, I'm going to talk about movies. Shots fired. Stick 'em. But yeah, I was going to say the New Mutants trailer dropped and it looks fucking sweet.
That shit looks awesome.
Anya Taylor-Joy looks fucking
man.
flawless.
They've
as
delayed the
magic.
release as we're speaking right now for another 3 months.
Exactly.
I did like how they're playing into that, like leaning into that, like kind of meta joke. Like we get it, our movie's been pushed back so many times.
5 years.
So now it's like what the new release date is August 28th, 2020, and they had like fingers crossed. I think that's pretty cool.
I'm not kidding. It's been like 5 years, right?
It's been 5 years.
No, it's been like
Think about it.
I think 2018.
Since they first started making the movie.
Let's see.
We don't have to see. I mean, that's dead.
No,
that's
no,
dead
no,
air.
I wanna prove you
I don't
wrong.
know.
Well, okay. Well, while
Maybe
you're
her.
seeing,
I guess if you go by her eyebrow,
I'm just,
it's like it's been 5 years.
you can
or
tell
so.
how old she is by counting the rings.
Is that part of her? That was good. See, that was good. You don't give yourself enough
She didn't
credit
have
for your
those eyebrows
jokes.
on
No,
Game
man.
of
you
Thrones.
don't give me enough credit for my jokes, and that hurts. So that and the Damien Hellstrom.
Yeah, Son of
head
Satan.
show.
I had
Yeah.
no idea what the fuck I was watching. I was like,
Has anyone seen the trailer? Did you guys see it?
Yes.
That shit looks fucking terrifying. Like, I guess
I want him to wear that outfit.
Oh,
though.
dude, I want
just
the
for like a
fucking-
Halloween
the carved
party.
in,
And I know
pentagram.
Satana's not going to wear that crazy.
No, she ain't gonna have the horns,
The horns?
cowlick that she has.
It's crazy that they're doing a series of that.
The trailer is weird because you're like, it doesn't look like Damien Hellstrom at all,
Nope.
but tonally, kind of, because he is the son of Satan, right? So
Yeah.
he's going into this padded cell, and there's this fucking old lady, and she
Yeah.
looks like possessed, and like
It's mom, right?
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
Mom, but maybe possessed by a good old dad. Maybe because their voice was like
But that character's been retconned so much, so who knows?
Sure.
They can do whatever
yeah,
they want.
got an X-Files
I'm not
vibe.
even. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not
it's
even
got
trying,
X-Files,
to
supernatural vibe.
fucking even put any kind of my own
70s Son of
shit.
Satan. I was like, yeah. Aw.
Yeah. But like she's like my own son, like talking like a fucking something inside of her.
Yeah.
And like, who's the guy playing Hellstrom? Is it Boone from Lost? I don't remember.
I don't know.
This guy. He's
I didn't
anyway.
recognize him.
I shall also look that up.
But yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's cool, but it's like it has my mind
I
goes
don't-
to
yeah,
like
exactly, dude.
to where they're not going to go,
Yeah.
like Legion of Monsters and Spirits
Right.
of Vengeance.
Right.
They're
right,
not going
right.
to do that.
No, they're not going to do any of that.
But that's cool to think about.
Tom Austin.
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I imagine they're going to try and do. They're going to go the Constantine route.
Yeah,
Like they'll
I
just
can
be
see
like,
that.
"Oh, what can we learn from this show? Everything they did right, and
Yeah.
then how can we put the Marvel
That's a
spin
good
on
point.
it, and then move forward?"
Yeah, because
from there.
those, like I said, those characters have so much convoluted backstory. They can really.
Yeah.
No one's going to be like, "Oh, that's not the origin."
Sure.
You know, it's.
Dude, yes, that and like I said,
But Mephisto, you think?
no way,
Yeah, Tom Austin.
no way, they're not going to do that.
You don't think they'll get that crazy?
Well, I got the IMDb pulled up. I do not see.
Spoilers.
Oh,
I don't see anything of
because weren't they supposed to do a Hulu Ghost Rider, but they canceled it.
Were they really?
I think so.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't
Of
know if
course
it was
they
the
did.
Robbie Reyes, but since there's multiple Ghost,
I mean, they could have called it whatever, and then had any old Ghost Rider just show up
Yeah.
eventually.
I want to see Johnny Blaze with a fire shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Still wearing the fucking
trench
motorcycle
coat?
jacket underneath
The trench coat, yeah. With a sweet ponytail.
Like, dude, you're not hot. Like,
Mullet.
Like, dude, how are you not hot right now? You've got 4 layers on.
It's layers.
4 layers on with long hair.
But
in
like
the summer.
that
Nah.
kind of got me excited for things that won't happen, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
it looks interesting. It
Yeah.
does look interesting.
Hellstrom.
Yeah. And New Mutants too. They're doing.
Yeah.
They totally. I saw a fucking demon bear in the trailer.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw a demon bear. I saw fucking Magic with her big ass fucking Mike
Yeah.
Mignola sword. I saw Maisie Williams turn into a werewolf. Like Wolfsbane was fucking my favorite when I was little.
Yeah, they gave us everything. Danny
yeah.
Moonstar.
Danny Moonstar. Do you guys think she's the one behind it? It looks like, based on what her mutant ability is, she
Makes
is
sense, like a
manifesting.
spirit animal
Yeah,
thing?
she's
Yeah,
manifesting
they could go
the
that way.
demon bear.
Wasn't that way in the story?
No, like in the story, it was, of course, because it's comics. It's an actual fucking demonic spirit that is like a weird bear entity. They played
that's
real fast and loose with that story, dude. Like
Yeah, it was-
they're like, wait, but what is the demon bear exactly? Oh, look,
Hey, we
fucking
won!
mutants.
Yay!
Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Got these cool drawings.
Right.
Don't
Like
ask
it was
questions.
like, what, Chris? What is this? And Chris is sitting here like, let me tell you guys.
I think those initial trailers,
Demon bear,
for
bro.
me, it leaned too much into like this very random horror flick. But I think this latest trailer, I'm like, oh, looks like a perfect balance between something
were-
completely
hold
new.
on, hold
They were
man.
marketing it as a horror.
Because I think like maybe you're not seeing it the way you should. Hold on.
Bro. Free your mind, bro. I saw the
I'm glad our patrons' money goes towards like really
Dude,
good.
fucking, there's like a bear, and like this blonde chick like fucking slashed it, man. Fucking.
Bear's not here, man.
Also, allow me to go ahead and these dumbass. I hate that I shared that with you guys. Like many things I've shared on this show that's come back to bite me. Allow me to go ahead and shoehorn in the original release date was actually April 2018, not 5 years ago.
No, when it was first pre-production. When did they start making the film?
Man, I don't want to have you looking right. Anyway, moving on, Ed.
Next topic. I win.
And what were some of the Comic Con at home things that you
Besides eyebrows?
eyebrows, yeah.
The G4 did this
fuck.
like cryptic trailer.
Yeah, something else not comic related. Thanks, San Diego.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
hasn't been that way.
Is Morgan Webb going to be back? I don't know.
You said Olivia Munn retweeted it.
Fuck Olivia Munn. That's what I say.
Well, they reactivated their Twitter as well as the, I think, X-Play Twitter. And then
That's
Olivia
cool.
Munn. And they just have that one tweet with a little video, the graphic of going, through this warehouse and Pong and then the logo. So, but I saw that they had a link to like they have like a Reddit page, and it says they're launching next year, but that's it. And then Olivia Munn retweeted a gif of her when she was, the eye candy on the show. And then
She was legit funny though. That's
she was
my
funny.
Beef. That's
No,
my
she's
beef
funny.
with her is that she's legitimate. She's Second City trained. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
Like she went to an actual like comedy fucking troupe, like the same one that Tina Fey went through. Like she's legit
But
funny, and then like just was like fucking shoots up her lips and got these big old fucking slugs, and now she just. Aaron Rodgers is crying, and we don't know why. And
Actually, didn't you go to Olivia Munn's like birthday party like a few years ago?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
no doubt, Ashley, you were the coolest person there.
She said,
No doubt.
So G4.
Yeah, so they had this announcement for next year, but I was kind of trying to dig a little deeper into it, and then
You forgot who you were, Olivia. That's all I'm saying.
but Morgan Webb, who was the co-host on X-Play, she tweeted like, "I'm surprised they remember the password."
What about
it? But I haven't looked up anyone else. But I know that like
Adam Pereira?
I didn't.
What's he doing right now? Getting fat?
He was doing like some podcast years ago, but I'd never.
God bless him.
Track.
God damn.
It was just like him just rambling on.
What a rube!
You guys sound this is like prime old guy hour between these two. Like the
Old
way,
guy?
the way. No, what I'm saying the way that you asked, you were like, "What man? What's he been up to, man? Getting fat? Oh, just the way you asked that, I was like, oh.
Well, it's like I really like the channel, and I kind of saw its slow,
I watched it.
painful
Yeah, me too.
death.
Oh, sure.
When it had like a full slate of shows. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Oh,
they
dude.
had arena video games. I mean, it was way ahead of its time. I
Code
thought.
Monkeys. I used to
Yeah,
watch
Code
it all the time.
Monkeys.
oh my god.
There was that show.
No,
with
don't
that-
try and be cool now.
Sorry,
no,
okay.
you sit down.
I'll leave.
But then it became just like X-Play and Attack show, and then like Cops reruns, like the whole time.
Right,
So I
right.
saw the slow death of it, but I think now in this market,
It was hanging out with Spike TV too often on the
Yeah.
weekends. Like bad influence. Just
so
bad
it's,
influence.
I think in this market where there's so much, there's like a race for all this content to be out with all the streaming service. I think this is a perfect time because the structure is different. Like that, the network structure is totally different now. They could even
Shit,
be just a YouTube channel.
I'll fucking watch it.
Yeah. As long as Allison Hayslip comes back. Oh yeah.
Ashley, what about you? What'd you catch up on?
Oh, what a dirtbag.
So I saw some cool stuff. I saw the Boys is gonna have a third season
Oh yeah.
Off the rip.
before
Right.
the second season
Right,
came out,
yeah.
but then the Tick only gets 2 seasons.
Fuck that,
before
yeah,
it gets
right?
Canceled.
Go
God
ahead,
damn it.
Ashley, talk that shit.
Yes, Ashley's been the one. Like Ashley is like.
here we go.
She's got like a cigar, like a little cigarette lit that hasn't been smoked with her headphones on. She's like, "Let me tell you guys the fucking truth right now. Your government doesn't want you to know about the Tick, all right? Because there's a lot of weird things going on inside that show. All right. Anyway, sorry.
And then the other show is called Truth Seekers. Did you guys see that? It's an Amazon original. It's Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Oh,
And it's supposed to be like
I saw.
a-
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail for it. I don't know what it's about.
It's just supposed to be like this sort of X-Files feeling, like Monster of the Week show.
Okay.
I thought that'd be really fun.
I love Supernatural, so
Do you?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Is that a surprise?
That is a guilt. That is a. That, I know what? Fuck it. I own it.
I can't
It's not
believe
a
it's
guilty
been on for
pleasure.
25 years. That's my.
Like
this show's
15
been on
years.
forever.
Yeah.
Well, which show? Supernatural?
Supernatural.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Supernatural, Colin. I can't believe
This guy.
Oh, shit was funny. I think I've said that story plenty of times. But,
What?
John Beatty, he's a supernatural.
Yeah, it
He's
sounds
a
like he
supernatural
has
fan.
taste.
And he was like, I remember he was like, "Hey, B, I know you're into like nerdy stuff. You want to go to the Supernatural Con with
He
me?" I
went-
said, "I'm not that nerdy." And like,
Sarah and I were gonna go. We wanted to go real bad.
well, he shames me every year. Like, I can't believe you won't go to a Supernatural Con.
Yo,
but
John,
you
if you're
like
listening,
comic books. I'm
I'll
like,
fucking roll with you.
different.
I fucking roll with you. Actually, it's not because Ben Edlund, creator of The Tick, also is one of the biggest writers on that show, which is why it's fucking good, guys.
Yeah,
Get on my goddamn level.
Everyone is now becoming like, you know, when everyone like as a kid.
Guys, just do that quick. Anytime says something,
You know when you stayed up too long as a kid,
Shave
you
him,
became
shave him,
loony as
shave
shit.
him,
Like
shave him.
Cesar's become like that loony stage where everything's
I've been
funny.
up for 3 days.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm on a coke binge.
I haven't slept in probably a year,
Oh,
and but whenever
Edit.
I'm so hungry right now that
Timestamp.
whenever like the characters, like cartoon characters, look at somebody and they look like a little chicken,
like turkeys.
like a little hot dog. Like Butter looks like a little hot dog next to me.
We just need to.
so hungry.
We need to get back to recording on a weekly basis. That's what it is. Ashley, was there anything else from Comic Con?
That's it.
All right. I think we pretty much. I watched the New Mutants panel. That shit was awesome. Because this makes C look in a bad light. Pre-production actually started in 2017, so there's that.
I didn't make the movie.
I know, fuck with you. Fuck with you. But I won't lie, I didn't watch the full panel. I was like, this ain't the same. Like it just felt.
It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
watching a Zoom meeting. It's like I don't.
Well, they
do
weren't.
this.
It took them a minute to get to the actual movie. I was like,
yeah.
I don't really care about the rest of this. But I did watch creating the anti-crossover event at Image Comics panel. It had Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. They're teaming up again for another kind of big Image title.
Creating the anti-crossover event.
Yeah,
That's what it was called?
Yes.
What an image title to have. What a such an image. You guys like events? Fuck you. That's for the big two. We're anti-event.
It's like it's 1997.
Right? Yeah, seriously.
So, and I mean, you guys know, I mean, Cates and Shaw have been working together on like some hits, like as far back as like God Country, the Thanos Win story arc. So they're coming back to Image for like another kind of big event. They kept it pretty close-lipped for the most part. Jeff Shaw didn't do a lot of talking compared to Donny Cates. He did say something to the effect of, quote, "This is the scariest goddamn book I've ever attempted to produce in my goddamn life."
Wow.
And that's why it's the most
GDs
exciting
there.
thing. I know, yeah, the most exciting thing.
Please, such
so
language.
Image, yeah. It's the most exciting
Edgy,
thing I've
bro.
ever.
Very image.
It's the most exciting thing I've ever done. He also compared it to the basics of this story are Imagine Avengers Endgame, but with Cloverfield. Other than that, he was kind of cryptic about it. He did say that Mark Waid is editing the comic book. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to deal with a book dealing with like a big crossover event, whatever it may be, you know, Mark Waid's probably the dude you want to have look it over.
Speaking of crossover, I don't know if anyone else has read The Boys, but I wonder if season 3 is going to be Herogasm. Do you know what that's about?
I have no idea.
It's not
So-
like the big orgy in the
Herogasm.
I heard that. Yeah, I was going to do that. Damn it,
Bro,
baby.
Potter just got interest. Really? Really? Orgy, hey?
Pants
but
are off.
basically, all the
Baseline building.
superheroes, because there's a lot more superheroes in the comic. So they all get together and talk to address Earth, saying that there's this intergalactic menace coming. So we're going to put aside our differences, team up, and we're going to fight this to protect Earth. And they just fly off to a resort island full of drugs and hookers and just go nuts. So that's every year they do that. So that's kind of like their crossover event where they like pretend to be fighting aliens and then just go and get fucked up. on
Oh,
this
that's
island.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, if I had mentioned that storyline, you guys would have spent the next 5 minutes doing that song, calling me a degenerate.
Yeah, it's because Ed's not a pervert.
Yeah.
Simple answer.
And the only other thing I was interested in
I did
watching
write it.
as far as I did watch the Boys season 2 clip with the whale, the crew, and the deep. That shit was funny as hell. I did want to try to watch that Todd McFarlane sci-fi documentary, like Hell I Won't.
Yeah.
But Old Guy Status, that shit was like at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. I was like, I ain't watching that. But it is on sci-fi.com, like the full documentary, so you can watch
haven't
it like
watched it yet.
anytime you want.
There's who said that like it should be called How Much of Todd Can We Stand? Like how much can we put up with him before we just turn it off?
Was there any panels or anything that you guys kind of wish you would have found out about sooner that you might have missed? Like, oh damn, I didn't know that was going on. Like any of that like else that you saw? For the most part, I think it was between Boys, New Mutants that I saw kind of circulating like the rounds, like making the big news. I didn't see anything else really.
Nothing to really pops out in my head.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm just curious, like how things go.
It's hard to
next
keep
year.
track of it, since it's this.
That was the
format,
thing
it's
too,
like,
man.
There's not like, or at least I didn't see like one place to get all the information. Everything was so splintered and segmented.
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky to figure out.
I will say for anyone listening or any of our patrons, if you ended up watching a different type of panel or have one to highlight or champion, I know that some people had responded to my poll asking about which ones they were going to watch. I think like Warren mentioned there's a Simpsons one, and Amanda Marin mentioned there was like a Marvel 616 one. So if anyone's got any comments about some of the panels they watch for the Comic-Con at home, I would love to hear it. Shoot us an email. With that being said, man, let's get into our last segment of the show, our champion season. Champion season, for those of you tuning in for the first time, is our last segment of the show. It is our chance to go around the table and allow everyone a chance to highlight a few things within pop culture that has really resonated with us. This could be a comic book, a TV series, a movie, a video game, an album, etc., whatever it may be. It's something that we feel, hey, this is really dope and more people should be checking it out. See, how about we start off with you, buddy?
Oh,
pal,
shit.
friend.
Well, what a fucking luxury.
I'm sure it's great, dude.
No.
What's your champion, bro?
Yeah.
What a fucking luxury. You're like, I was hoping to go last.
No. So, Botter actually championed this show a while back, and I had a chance to binge it in one day, 2 seasons. It's a show called Rami on Hulu, right? Is it Hulu that it's on?
Mm-hmm. Hulu.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And I recently got a ginormous box set edition of all of Ralph McQuarrie's concept art for Star Wars.
Fancy.
Right.
Huh.
And it's not so much a glaring review of how awesome Star Wars is. Clearly, I'm the one on the microphone. More a awesome testament to Ralph McQuarrie's artwork and how that dude pretty much...
How much cooler it would have looked.
Oh, well, I can't say that because all the stuff they didn't use, they end up using on the shit that I enjoy, like Rebels and Clone Wars, and The Mandalorian. Nice. So it's that's how good his work was. Like the table scraps, the delicious little pork rinds that fell on the floor, were like, no, this shit's good. What are you talking about? Fucking put that in my fucking sandwich right now. So that and. I think that's it. Yeah, just basically been nerding out about that.
How much was that? Like $300?
I don't want to talk about it.
He's spending the night here. He can't go home. Sarah found out about the
I'm
price.
living underneath it.
Guys, there's a reason why I'm crazy this episode. My wife left me.
We'll put that on the next short box mixtape at the closing track.
Misery.
Ed, what about you, man? What do you got to champion today?
I'm just going to champion... I picked up something new. It's the one-shot, the Power Rangers Ranger Slayer. That's hard to say. From Boom.
Yo, finally. Man, I've been meaning to...
I haven't read any of the Boom stuff, so the story
Dan
was
Mora?
like... Yeah, oh, dude. It's Dan Mora. It's a little pricey. It's $8. It's a little pricey.
Nope.
I'll put it back in the plastic
I
for
just
you.
want to fucking...
But I just like the art. I bought it because it was pretty. That was one of those pretty buys. But I was reading it, and it's basically an alternate timeline that I guess Boom created called the Coinless, where the Green Ranger actually defeats all the Rangers and then ends up killing Rita. So it has all the characters from the show when you were a kid, but it's like in a more serious kind of almost post-apocalyptic kind of setting. So it's really cool. It's not super, I guess, original, but it's just cool to seeing those characters in that environment.
My wife
would
like that comic.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Dude.
It is like, but it took
Sarah
me, I had to
loved
read
Power
about it because I, like I said, I've heard good things about the series, the Boom series, but I haven't sat down and read, so I had to kind of, so if you're new to it, you might have to go back and kind of figure out exactly what's going on.
Could I borrow that comic? That might save my marriage.
Sure. If it wasn't so expensive, yes.
$8.
Yo, Ben at Gotham has told me, like, the Power Rangers Boom stuff always sell. Like, he's got so many people down for, like, more than any of the big two things that you would expect to sell out. He's like, yo, the Power Ranger Boom stuff.
Yeah, because as
gets
soon as
a
you
lot
pick
of
it
praise.
up, like you open it, it's like
Yeah, it's like a lot of action, a lot of, like, the coloring is fantastic. It's just, as a complete package, and it's just one issue I have to buy. So
Damn,
it's really cool. That's
good
like
stuff.
my pick of the week.
That's good. Anything
Nice.
else, Ed?
Nope, that's it.
All right, pass it over to Ashley. Ashley, what do you want to champion?
So I'm gonna champion Strange Adventures, and I was just checking on my phone. So
good.
I read Sheriff of Babylon not too long ago, and it was Tom King and Mitch Gerads, and so they're teaming up again. And that book was 5 years ago, and the Mitch Gerads artwork is just so good.
Yep.
Just
On Strange Adventures?
on Strange Adventures. Did you guys read Sheriff of Babylon?
I have
Did
like
not.
one issue or something. But yeah, it's really cool.
It was really good. It was just, it was kind of like heavy-handed, and the art was good. But then you look at Strange Adventures, and it's like,
Yeah, I
just
didn't even think it
leaps-
was the same
Yeah,
person. Yeah.
leaps and bounds better.
I think his artwork in this is like, well, I'm not saying like that much better, but like his improvement from like even like his Mr. Miracle, something as current.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Rod and Mr. Miracle. Like I think this is like, man, he went like another level.
Yeah, he really is. He's just like improving every page that he draws, and the story's cool because like Tom King hasn't let me down yet. And then the third issue came out last week?
Man,
Do you like Tom
Pretty
King?
recently.
Good.
Yeah.
You do like Tom King.
I do. I never got into the Batman run, but
I think that's my same here. Like
Yeah.
It's not bad.
yeah. I just
I don't
but he
hate it.
made Vision interesting, so I know he can like do anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And I think that's where his power or where he really excels is like his Vision run is fucking great. His Mr. Miracle run
I think
is
his, like,
amazing.
Yeah.
with like the B, C list characters,
Yeah.
where he has more freedom. Because the Batman was okay, but I think this Strange Adventures, Mr. Miracle, those are really top notch stuff, and
Yeah.
I think he gets more leeway, to play with these characters in these comics.
Yeah,
I'm sure
so-
Batman you can only do so much,
Yeah.
and even some of the stuff he did, it was like, it was like some odd choices. But
Would you
yeah,
say
this
for
stuff's-
Marvel he gets a lot of Stan leeway? We're having
That's
fun,
a Potter
right, guys?
joke. That's a Potter joke.
We're having fun, right, guys?
I never seen Potter so happy. Look how happy he is. He's like
Yo, I'm literally this brony picture that you drew of me.
so happy.
I'm literally this brony picture.
I'd never seen that big a smile.
We're having fun. We're having fun,
right,
We're having fun.
This is what happens when we record a 2-hour show. Is we lose their grip on sanity. But no, I agree. I think Strange Adventures, especially this angle that he's writing, where it's like Adam Strange, like viewed as like this like hero, but now like this book is released. Like it's like, damn, he has him like this celebrity kind of story that we've all seen, where it's like, what's the truth? Like, he's having to combat like the media, and then him working in like Mr. Terrific in this story, like another very C-list character. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. I'm like,
Ashley's like, yeah,
You want a champion?
Yeah, it's called Champion. I'm fucking doing it.
Man.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's great. And like the third issue just came out, so I think you should be able to like grab the other ones and get them all, because Marvel or DC takes forever. Like the big ones take forever to put their trades out, so you don't want to
And
wait.
this is like
Just
12 issues.
Stay
grab
woke,
it.
fam. Stay
Yeah.
woke.
You have to wait.
I won't lie. I'm
Is
just
this
thinking
been
about
on
waiting
schedule?
because 12 issues times $4 versus trade. But yeah, I got you.
Ashley, you don't want to champion Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust?
I'll champion the experience of that
Oh.
movie. Yeah.
That's a win. That's a win.
Yeah.
You put that in the
I
mark.
think everybody
Empty
should
victory
watch
is still a
it.
victory.
Right?
Second place is still a place.
I like that. I like that.
Ashley, was there anything else?
That's all.
Has this been coming out on time? It seems like or has it been delayed?
It's hard to tell because I used to go every Wednesday.
It seems like I
and
got
now
one,
I don't,
like, 6 months
so,
ago.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us know what day it is anymore.
No.
I don't know.
I just show up and see
Monday, right?
what Dave
Is it?
hands me.
What day is it?
So I'll go ahead and do my champion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh,
We're
really?
interested.
I can't?
It's your show. Go ahead.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, no, it's all your show, Botter. It's the Botter show.
Do what you want.
You
You're
guys-
making the rules.
Yeah, sure. all right. So my first champion will be this YouTube series I found while looking up Art Adams' sketches. It's called VZA YouTube channel. Their description said promoting the visual arts in order to motivate aspiring artists, and they just have a bunch of videos of artists drawing and sketching and whatnot, and they'll just put on like really kind of like what the kids would call chill hop music or lo-fi.
Is that the one he did? Wow.
That's like a new term that like
Come on.
yo man, like
There's like a little raccoon studying on a bed.
Oh, I love that channel.
as I hide like my figure I bought of the chilled cow. But I mean he's
Chilled
got like
cow's great.
yeah, they are
Secretly a
pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's just like a bunch of videos of artists drawing.
Is that the one he did, the Dark Phoenix?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. That's the
cool.
same channel.
Yeah, okay.
So they've got like the full videos of them. Like,
I know what you're talking about. I have seen those videos.
I was like
Is this
waiting for the
some-
sarcastic like punchline.
No. Like, that's, yeah, no.
I know what you're talking about, idiot.
Like I.
Damn. At least
See, that was
give me
rude.
a $10 word.
No, it just
Idiot,
clicked,
hurts.
like it just clicked on like, oh yeah, I've seen those videos before. Yeah.
So they've got like, sometimes they'll have like, the full 20, 30-minute video of them drawing and they don't speed it up. But then they have like a version of certain videos what's called like hashtag art rush where they speed it up. That way it fits in a 10-minute, a 5-10-minute window. And I mean, they've got
It's like Bob Ross for comic heads.
Yes, thank you. I mean, they've got, Jim Lee, of course, on there. They've got like a Tim Sale video of him doing watercolors. They've got Bill Morrison drawing Homer. And then, of course, they've got, to be topical, of course, they've got like 2 videos of Art Adams, one drawing Dark Phoenix, and the one that I enjoyed a lot was him drawing the Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. But they've got really good, it was the music that caught my attention. I was like, I can see me kind of just putting something like this on. And even if I'm not paying attention, the music is still good enough to kind of like, fill the room with a certain ambiance.
Did it remind you of when you used to steal Darwin Cook's artwork?
Actually, they
You would
reached
listen
out.
to the music and just be like, I'm vibing.
Yeah, I can't wait to steal these royalties. Man, he
Larceny.
be getting paid. Yeah, son.
Yeah.
Which leads me to a connector, a kind of champion is the music was so good on all these videos, and I noticed in the comments or their description they link to a Bandcamp page for a dude named for Cesar singing. What was that song you just sang? My wife kicked me out. I got Corey in the back. That was good.
I'd like to champion happy marriages.
But my second champion is this producer named Brock Barrington, and his music was on every one of the videos. So I checked out his Bandcamp. He's got music on Spotify and Apple Music as well. But he's a beat maker, a music enthusiast, a multi-instrumentalist, a sample hunter, and in his own words, a town drunk. And this dude has so
just
many,
like you.
Yeah, I mean it was relatable.
I'm going to tell you guys.
and I think his character, I don't know what his face looks like because he wears a rooster mask in all of his album covers, and he's got like a suit on. He looks like someone from like Reservoir Dogs.
Again, I know exactly who you're talking about,
Dude, and I was like, damn, I've seen this on like lo-fi playlists, so it makes sense that like all of his album covers are like him in a suit with a rooster mask on. But his beats are fucking great. Like, if you like boom bap, Ninth Wonder, old like Kanye, Dillis, like it's just really good beats, and he's got so much work. It's like, holy shit, this dude releases stuff like a lot. Matter of fact, he had just released this week an album or a beat tape called Utah. I went ahead and I'll go ahead and recommend one from 2015 called Chapter 10 and then one from 2017 called Point Pleasant. It's all just instrumentals. It's all beats, instrumentals. So, I mean, you could just kind of put it on anywhere. And it makes sense why this YouTube channel, VZA, would use a bunch of his beats. I do like that they credit him and you can go to his base camp and directly support him. So I'd recommend those. And my last champion is a piece of technology. This one is for all of my current or aspiring podcasters, live streamers, whatever it may be. I've really kind of tried to lean in on learning as much as I can about the editing and audio side and production side. So I've been, buying just different equipment to try out. And one I will recommend is a Shure MV5 digital condenser microphone. It's a USB mic that you can hook up to your computer, but it also includes a lightning cable too, where if you've got an iPhone, you can connect it directly into there. The microphone's like really small. It's about the size of like a cup of water, a cup or something like that. It's got a headphone port, so you can plug in your own headphones, kind of listen back. It says that it automatically applies like gain, EQ, and compression and limiting for optimal results, which doesn't surprise me. It being Shure, Shure kind of being a
Sure.
It's Shure.
Oh, I thought it was some new brand.
I thought it was Shure until you kept saying Shure. I'm like, motherfucker.
I guess I've heard other people say Shure, and I've just kind of run with it.
The
Never
Black
heard
Panther? He's fucking talking to his family members.
That was good. Damn. Only real comic heads will enjoy that.
Sure.
See?
Okay.
Take the rest
Thank you. Thank you.
Take the rest of the day off. No, seriously, take the rest of the day off. Sorry, Shure, a
Okay.
Shure mic.
Sure.
But damn, what was I? Oh, but it's really nice if you
Do you
just
cut your food with a knife?
I won't be able to live this
the
down.
curry.
End it now, Botter. End it now. Thank you for joining the show. But no, the Shure, the Shure.
Jesus.
I can't at this point, man.
love it.
It's a really good mic. It was about $100 on Amazon, but I mean, it's like Shure quality, you know, like
Yeah,
they're
it's
kind
good
of like the
Yeah.
benchmark
Yeah.
when it comes in. So
The industry standard. as
thank
they
you,
say.
industry standard. So yeah,
Sure.
I recommend it if you're recording, if you want to record like from your phone, if you want to record from your laptop. I've kind of played around with it a little bit. I want to start using it for some like live streams, and it sounds really good, man. So pretty cheap and affordable for those of you looking to get into like podcasting or any type of content creation. So yeah, that being said, that is the end of this long ass show. See, I'm serious, man. Go get some sleep.
Read a book. You're saying for as many comics as you read, how do you not know Shure?
No, English isn't my first language, man, and it really
It's
offends
not
me.
mine either.
It's curry.
Yeah, got your ass.
Damn,
yeah,
I've been using that for so many years. It never works. Any last minute comments, closing remarks? Ashley, you got anything to say to the people before we sign out?
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
She's like,
Not
no.
today,
I'm
Botter.
just tired. So tired.
Ed, what about you?
No, I'm still taking commission, so it's Ed.293 Instagram, everywhere else.
Nice,
Appreciate
nice.
it.
See, closing remarks, shameless plugs.
Nothing. Nothing.
Really?
I got nothing right
All
now.
this time, nothing?
Oh, wow.
Nothing right now.
Wow. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Corey Torgerson
Yay!
being our live studio member.
Like a fucking. He's got Stockholm syndrome.
He's like, get me out of here. Corey, I'll go ahead and loosen up those chains on you. You can leave here with us. With chains on them. So shout out to Corey Torgerson. No, seriously, for coming through, snapping some photos, being our in-studio audience. I want to go ahead and shout out a special collabo podcast project that I'm working on for a good friend, Warren Evans, The Bart of Darkness. Some of you listeners might remember this master-level Simpson fanboy from his Shortbox debut on episode 259, Bart of Darkness.
Been on a few times, actually.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, true. Last one was
Friend of the show.
Star Wars. Yeah, good friend of the show. He's starting his own Simpson-focused podcast. He's already got some amazing like interviews and guests already in the bank, already lined up as well. We'll be premiering the pilot episode from that upcoming podcast on our channel and feed in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for those episodes.
He's a natural interviewer, too.
Yeah, don't let him fool you. He'll tell you, he's modest.
He's very modest, but he's fun to watch and to listen to. And it's more of a long-form sort of interview, right? Like sort of chill and laid back. Kind of what we try to do on this show.
Yeah, but certain people just won't let greatness shine. I mean, it's all good. It's all
Just
good.
saying.
We'll get there by 300.
Just saying.
It's only been 200 and some change.
trying to get people on this.
Baby steps, guys. Baby steps.
Thanks. Thank you. But yeah, Warren's premiere of his podcast. It'll be on your favorite podcast app soon. So stay tuned. And like I said, we'll be helping them out with production and just premiering those pilot episodes on our own channel here in a couple weeks. Yeah, I think that is the end of our show, Shortbox Nation. Thank you for hanging out and sharing your most valuable commodity with us, which is your time. Thank you. It is appreciated. I want to give another round of applause and shout out to our sponsor, Gotham City Limit, and of course, our Shortbox patrons. If you feel inclined to help us keep the lights on here at Shortbox Studios, because we need a new AC, it's been hot as hell this whole time, consider becoming a Shortbox patron. We'll reward you with bonus episodes, commercial-free episodes, as well as exclusive
Give us
merch.
your fucking money.
Ooh, that was good. Damn, it really shook my fucking ears.
Give it.
As well as, we're hoping to do more secret live shows.
Secret give it to me. What happened?
That was a good ad-lib.
What happened?
I don't know. I just wanted to... Oh, shit. There goes that microphone I just bought.
Yeah, that Shuri fell on the floor.
Oh, no,
Somebody
Shuri.
tell T'Challa.
Sure.
Edit! Anyways, check out what we have to offer for your contributions on our membership site, patreon.com/theshortbox. Yeah, take that. With that being said, listeners, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll have a new episode for you next week. So in the meantime, continue to make mine and your Shortbox. And keep it geeky.
The worst. Boo.
Yo, what happened to peace? Peace.